21st was supposed to be the forecast. It rained the first 9 holes, as wet as I've ever been. So I was like, God, is it raining today too?
Well, look, and if you've got debris in your gutters, it's going to clog them up. It can cost you thousands of dollars worth of damage. He will come out, Chris Stewart, give you an absolutely free estimate. 205-823-2212. You don't want to get on the roof. You slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. No good to the wife or kids. Cap it. Don't snap it. For more information, guttercapbirmingham.com.
Before I get to my final thought in college, Jerry Jones fined $250,000 by the league for flipping off, giving the bird to Jet fans. He is actually challenging it, appealing the fine, said he messed up. He was trying to give a thumbs up, but at his age, he actually gave him the bird.
I mean, it's clear as day. It's clear as day on the video.
Yeah, I remember when Bud Adams did this, the longtime owner of the Oilers / Titans.
Wasn't that to his own fans, though?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that was to his own fans.
Meanwhile, and why we got the apology yesterday, the NFL also has fined Jonathan Gannon, the head coach of the Cardinals, for his interaction, a $100,000 fine.
Well, I think it was an organizational fine.
Yeah, I think it was Arizona that fined him.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was
internal.
the league.
No, I think it was internal. Yeah.
You know, if I'm Gannon, like my organization, it's already embarrassing enough. I've done the, I've done the apology. We lost the game, and now I got to give you $100,000.
Well, I'm with you though, Dunaway. It sounds like the team ownership said, not only are we fining you, you're going to publicly apologize. Yeah. This came from the top.
And I don't know how quickly you can get it. Betting odds on first NFL coach to be fired now.
Is it Gannon?
Gannon took over, according to the email.
No. He's like third or fourth, but he's plus 750. He's jumped way up.
Okay.
Mike McDaniel's in front of him.
Mike McDaniel is any day now.
Yeah, there's a couple that are in front, but his odds did drastically jump up based on that.
I guess it was the headline biggest riser.
Biggest riser was Jonathan Gannon in this. And if I'm Gannon, I just crack back and I cut the kid.
Yeah. Apparently, if he tried to do that, it sounds like he would get cut.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think he's controlling the roster.
I don't feel good about his long-term future. By the way, who do the Cardinals get this week?
The Rams.
On the road at the Colts. That machine, which is the Indianapolis Colts.
And everything's coming up Colts this year. It works out good. Everyone's looking at Alabama's schedule. This is their third straight ranked team that they've played after winning at Georgia and at home to Vandy. Missouri also ranked. You don't have to go back too far. Alabama won 4 in a row against ranked opponents in 2016. They'd already won 2 ranked games before they went on a run in consecutive weeks of beating, or consecutive games with one bye, of beating 16 Arkansas on the road, number 9 Tennessee on the road, number 6 Texas A&M at home, bye week, and then at number 13 LSU back in 2016. They would go on to beat number 13 Auburn, number 15 Florida, number 4 Washington before losing the national championship game to Clemson. That was on the way to being one of the greatest Alabama teams of all time.
It was. I mean, I'd forgotten that streak was that tough, though, to be honest with you.
And they'd already beaten USC and one other ranked team, maybe Ole Miss earlier in the year.
Yeah.
They were unbeaten, and then they lose to Clemson. Some blame that on Lane Kiffin of what went on, and he got fired before that that game down in Tampa. But if they'd
on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the next round.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Belichick on the clock. Hugh Freeze answering a question during the teleconference about his job stability and a lot of other college football stuff to get to. The NFL cranks back up tonight. Eagles, Giants will break that game down. Josh Pate, Dan Orlovsky on the show today. We'll start with a little Alabama at Missouri in just a second. But how you guys doing today? We're ready to roll.
Awesome, man.
Ready to roll on a Thursday.
A little fall in the air outside.
A little fall in the air in here.
Yeah,
more winter in here. It's early
it's
winter.
chilly in here, but fall temperatures for the games on Saturday. Everyone's excited about that. And the black hoodie conversation continued to bounce around yesterday. Cut 14, Tyler. We're going to start this off today with our Alexander Shannara trial attorney sound of the day. Eli Drinkwitz, we like him, we don't like him.
I'm coming around on him, believe it or not.
You didn't like him, and now you do like him?
Deck was completely stacked against this guy. He was fish out of water. It didn't make any sense. I think Missouri fans are like, what in the hell is this? And all he does is continue to do his thing. He doesn't change, and he wins. And so I respect that, and I think he's one of those that Missouri fans, it's almost like the stray dog they took in.
Can I ask you, though, I mean, is he not hokier than Dabo Swinney?
He is, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's what's complicated.
Okay.
It's what's complicated.
I mean, he is hokier than Dabo Swinney.
He is hokier, but he's kind of like, I don't know how to.
Yeah, but he doesn't play up. Let me say this real quick. Like Dabo, the woe is me.
That's
I
right.
mean, Dabo's mailbox probably costs more than my house.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and it's just like everything's against us.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And Eli could use that, and he doesn't use it.
I know, that's what I'm trying to say. Eli can be hokey because, you know,
he's dad joke hokey.
He's dad joke hokey, but he's coaching Missouri. He's not coaching a program that has won 2 national championships. I think is what we're trying to say here. So I've come around on Eli. I did not like him. I felt like he was born on third base. He took over for Scott Satterfield, who killed it at App State, coached there 1 year and got an SEC job out of it. And it just felt like, boy, this guy was born on third. But he's done a really good job there. I cannot, even if you don't like him, you really can't deny that he's done a really good job.
Not a really good job. Since the start of the 2023 season, Eli Drinkwitz at Missouri is 26-5.
Oh, yeah. I was going to
job.
say this. If you look at degree of difficulty amongst the 16 jobs, outside of Vanderbilt, you can make an argument this is the next most difficult job.
And I don't want to try to be hypocritical, or don't want to be hypocritical. So you would say it's harder than State?
I think it can be harder than State, Kentucky.
I'd put it in front of State and Kentucky, but it's in that discussion, which is all you need to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, the reason Mississippi State is where they are is because, they haven't had an Eli Drinkwitz.
Yeah, so I don't want to be hypocritical, Jim. I get so tired of the robotic coaches that talk coach speak, won't say anything interesting, and at least this guy does interesting stuff. So I am starting to come around on Coach Drink. Is he hokey? Yeah, but I'm starting to come around on him. I misjudged this guy from the beginning. I guarantee you, all we need is for him to come on the show and be a good interview, and I'll be all on board.
I'm telling you what's going to happen Saturday. They win the game Saturday.
Uh-oh.
People are going to start to talk. And again, this is 6 consecutive home games for whatever that's worth. He'll be mentioned for jobs like Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, or I think I saw that yesterday, that he was could be an interesting candidate at Florida. Maybe it said if he won yesterday.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I'm just saying, I think he will really become a national name.
I don't know.
See, I like the personalities
I do too. I do too, Jim, because we get the coaches this day and age are so robotic, so coach speak, so afraid to say anything, and he's not. Now, I wonder if this act would work at a place like Florida.
Yeah. But see,
it didn't with Mullen.
No. But I'm talking about like the fun stuff and the goofing off.
Yeah,
like
Dan Mullen came in with the Darth Vader outfit on.
There's some similarities to me between Mullen and Drinkwitz.
Yeah,
there is.
Yeah.
So that might be one of the hesitations. But like DeBoer, I love DeBoer, the coach, and he's a great guy. But he is boring.
He's
hell.
one of those coaches that's he's not gonna risk saying anything at the podium. He's gonna give you, the nuts and bolts right there, and that's it. And that gets tiresome because we get so many coaches that are like that. To have one that breaks the mold a little bit, I should embrace more. I'll admit that.
Yeah, Dabo is different too, and
you
guys go hokey on him. He doesn't give you the normal soundbite.
He does
so
not.
you guys.
Well, it's always about him though. That's the thing. Always about him.
Here's Eli Drinkwitz, who on the SEC Teleconference yesterday stayed past his time. He stayed past his time to interact with Kalen DeBoer. Not really something that usually happens on the SEC Teleconference.
Coach, it looks like your next question is going to come from Eli Drinkwitz of Missouri Athletics.
Hey, Kalen, are you going to wear the black hoodie of death on the sideline this game with us wearing black jerseys?
Oh, Coach Drink. I got to fit in somehow. So I'm more than likely. We'll see what the forecast is. I kind of know, but I'm expecting that. So it's kind of got its own life of its own right now. So we're rolling with it.
That's the only question I needed to find out for the day. All right.
Yeah.
See ya.
77 and partly cloudy to answer Coach's question.
It's finally hoodie season for Coach DeBoer.
If he wore it Saturday in Tuscaloosa, he could definitely wear it Saturday in Columbia.
Much like I said a couple of weeks ago in Fayetteville, I just think that this would be so much better if Missouri had a TV dictates all this, but the first top 15 matchup they've hosted in Columbia since 1979. If this thing was at 2:30 or night, for whatever that home field advantage is worth, I just think it would feel a little bit different. I don't like the fact this game is 11 o'clock for Missouri.
That's our Alexander Shinara trial attorney sound of the day. One SEC coach hanging past his time on a phone call to ask another coach, and you get a Kalen DeBoer, Coach Drink.
Oh, Coach Drink.
Oh, Coach Drink.
It's what's amazing.
You, Coach Drink.
Those coaches are so in a hurry to get off that teleconference normally for him to hang around. I'll give him credit for that. Alexander Shinara trial attorneys, elite attorneys that have recovered more than $2 billion for their clients. Who are their clients? Well, they're everywhere, but one thing that Alexander wanted to do, because he grew up right here in Birmingham, he's a Birmingham guy, is make sure his firm takes care of his community. 24 years, that firm has grown to more than 150 lawyers supported by more than 500 dedicated team members. They now not only handle personal injury claims, fire and storm damage claims, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, and a host of other claims. When you find yourself in need of a lawyer, Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys, Shinara.com, Shinara.com.
We'll talk NFL a couple of times, but we stay in college football right here. Most watched game this past weekend, if you guys are waiting to see if we're in the revelation, no S on the end, revelation part of the end story, maybe this is a sign that there are four horsemen or white horsemen. I forget my end time story. Four horsemen, I guess, was Notre Dame.
Jesus is on the white one.
Yeah. Stuart Mandel yesterday, most watched college football games from week 6. Don't rub your eyes too hard. Vanderbilt, Alabama was the most watched college football game in the world this past weekend.
I mean, not crazy.
LT. It's Vandy and Alabama.
It's a
most watched
it's a
game.
top 16 matchup.
But how many casuals?
You got to go Miami, Florida State would have been my next guess, and
Yeah.
it was a complete blowout for the first 3 quarters.
I wonder how many casuals know Vandy's ranked that high, though. I mean, like, you got your casual football fan.
Dude, that is not surprising. It's a bunch of shit matchups.
Yeah, but it's Vandy. I'm just saying, you look at it from the point of view.
Coming into the weekend, what would you have said was going to be the most watched
Miami,
matchup?
Florida State. Yeah. Miami,
What
Florida
would
State.
what would have been number 2?
I could have seen Texas, Florida if it had been a good game.
LT, historically, though, Vandy,
yeah.
Alabama used to play where? They used to play on Jefferson
That's
Pilot.
right. You had the 3 days, dude.
That's my only point. Is it surprising that this weekend they were number 1? It is a little surprising that, first off, the most watched game was 6.4 million. That's a sad number for college football, unfortunately.
Yeah, a big number for a regular season game's 10 or 11 million.
I'm not saying there was only how many, top 20 matchups were there last year?
I'm just saying we approach it from the point of view of we know who's good and not. When you get 6 million people watching, you got a lot of fans that are just turning the TV on and they're playing Vandy. Yeah. Now, maybe they see the little number like they're like, oh, Vandy's good this year?
I think what it was, and you guys heard this, there were a lot of people that were like, Vanderbilt's going to win this game.
Oh, there was some of that.
I think people tune in, hey, let's give Alabama that second loss, let Vanderbilt knock them off.
No. Alabama draws numbers. And
especially in Alabama that could get upset.
They've always drawn numbers. That's why they were always on TV, even back in the 60s and 70s and so on. But that's a surprising number. Of course, if I can get them one more time, that Vandy and Alabama, the most watched game, not really your marquee SEC matchup that you would plug in that you think, before the year, that 1 week in Vandy, Alabama is going to be your most watched game, but it's good for the SEC.
To Brooks's point, Brooks points out in the chat room, that game last year was the middle of the day SEC Network game.
Yeah.
So it went from the 3:15 SEC Network game to the most watched game in America in 1 year.
Yeah, I would also point this out quickly. A lot of SEC up there on this, but this sort of is a reason why 6.4 million most watched game this past weekend of why if there was ever if the conferences could ever just get together and work together to pull this, they never will because everybody's looking out for their own interests. But we need to do a better job of scheduling. I think when the SEC folks threw out their schedule, and I don't know if they think about this, I think they do. If not, they should. You probably thought Texas, Florida was going to be a prime time, big number game, right?
Yeah, and you had no idea that Vanderbilt and Alabama would be this number.
Because the NFL, you
try.
You get automatic numbers, but you try to throw out, marquee matchups,
and they've
right?
built the flex in now where they can move some games around late in the year.
But like this weekend, Rams-Ravens supposed to be a massive game, right?
Yeah. Now you got a terrible Ravens team.
Yeah,
the
Ravens aren't very good. Rams should kill them this weekend, but that's supposed to be a massive game.
Such a dick.
We both said no.
I mean,
Lance, they're 1-4.
They should.
And they got a terrible defense.
Yeah, but
I'm not playing a game.
Me either. Lamar is questionable. If Lamar comes back, it's a different game.
Story. Yeah.
Cincinnati, Green Bay with Joe Burrow and Jordan Love. That's supposed to be a good game.
That's a great quarterback matchup.
Green Bay's a 14-point favorite.
Yep.
So you get yourself Detroit, Kansas City. It's supposed to be a big number this weekend. That's what you do in the NFL. You lay out these matchups.
And that will be a big number.
And you spread them out, right?
Yeah.
No. You spread them out. If we did that in college football, I don't think we'd have a scenario where Alabama would have been number one.
I just don't think you can figure it out before the season because I think much like the NFL and transfer portal now, there's going to be so much fluctuation on who's good and who's average.
If you could build it Monday, you could have built this Monday, what would be your number one game? Let's just do it that way. What would be your number one game in the country?
Well, see, I would have wanted to have
build me a TV squad.
Yeah, I would have rather had either Oklahoma, Texas, or Indiana, Oregon last week. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think the
they're
biggest,
not going to move the state fair for you, sir.
Biggest matchup this weekend is Indiana, Oregon.
Okay, well, it's got to be at least 2:30 or later. So where would you put that? Would you put that in prime time?
I would have put it in prime time.
Okay. All right. What's your next one?
Next one is going to be close between Oklahoma, Texas, and Alabama, Missouri.
Okay, so one of those needs to be morning, one of those needs to be midday.
Let me ask you, though.
I'm going to keep Ohio State, Illinois morning.
Do you guys think Indiana, Oregon wins the ratings?
It depends on how good Alabama, Missouri is.
Yeah.
No, I think Oklahoma, Texas wins the ratings. I think Michigan, USC is going to be right up there.
Well, I mean, to your point, if Scott can throw that back up there. CBS, this, by the way, as Brooks pointed out on social media, this is the first time. What?
Brooks, we need that microphone on. We're reading your transcript here.
Yeah,
Let Brooks talk. What are you about to say? What did you point out?
The stat of the day I did yesterday, this was the first regular season top 10 matchup that CBS has had since acquiring the Big Ten.
Wow. That's a great point. I like that. And now you get that at social media at Next Round Live,
They did have the Big Ten championship last year, but first regular season.
That's not regular season.
Yeah, exactly. In the regular season. And to y'all's point, as you see in the graphic, if you go at Next Round Live, is that the folks at CBS used to get this all the time in the SEC, and it's the first time they've had it in a long, long time.
But with that in mind, if Scott will show that again, Scott's showing you what Brooks had up there, so you see the comparison between their last 30-some-odd games, SEC, and their first in the Big Ten, and it's not even close.
Kind of content you get now if you follow us on our social media platform at Next Round Live, go follow there.
And if you consider that CBS is paying multiples of millions more for that
$350 million a year.
$350
per the New York Times,
and they were paying $50 million for the SEC. Yeah. I mean, if you consider that,
some are calling it the worst sports investment of all time.
I would agree.
They didn't work out a deal to stay with the SEC back in the day when they had the option to not pay more money ahead of schedule to lose the SEC and ended up paying what they're paying for the Big Ten.
Well, I think the sad thing is this might be a blowout. Like, I hope not.
Indiana, Oregon?
Yeah.
Yeah, and to your point.
Wow, you think Coach Sig in Indiana is that good?
I would play the other side of that.
I was setting you up for that, yeah. Forrester, before we get off the back microphones, do you have anything to add, or you want Brown to read your transcript?
No, I'm good.
Okay, good.
I had something, but since you interrupted me, I forgot that.
Yeah, no, you were going to point out
you wanted to go back to the.
But I can't remember what I was going to say.
You were going to point out the power of the SEC.
No.
Nope.
No, but I can't remember what I was going to say.
The power of the other conferences.
It was.
I honestly can't believe Minnesota, Ohio State drew anything.
Yeah. That was prime time.
I know, but it was one of the worst games you could ever see.
Oh, I remember.
But that's not a great
no.
number, 3.2 million. You know what I mean?
I
That's
remember what I was
primetime
going to
NBC.
say. I remember what I was going to say now is you were asking would Indiana, Oregon win the ratings, and I would say normally if it's a good game, yes. But look what Penn State and UCLA did. That was the story of Saturday.
Yeah, but I don't
Penn
think
State getting upset.
I think most people probably sat there and they're like, okay, UCLA's up. And once it got to halftime, they're like, okay, now we got a game.
I mean, that is way off the lead. I mean, Alabama, Vandy doubled them up. And I'm just saying, so even if Indiana, Oregon is a great game, CBS has lost its pop. I don't know that they can have the number one game in a given weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot.
No matter how good the game is.
Should be a lot of big numbers this weekend.
People just
great
don't.
matchups.
People have forgotten to go to CBS for football, it appears, because the SEC's not there anymore.
It was appointment television when it was the SEC because you knew it was going to be 2:30. You knew it was one of the biggest games in the country, if not the biggest game every weekend. Now, I mean, you saw Penn State, UCLA. UCLA was winless. You didn't make an appointment to be there when you're on ABC, ESPN, and Fox. You just sort of let the TV stay there all day.
Oh yeah,
right?
this might as well be on Peacock. I mean, you've got a standalone game from CBS every week, and that's it.
That's right. That's exactly right.
No, but you're right. I turn on ESPN, ABC, and there are times I never change it off my main TV.
Yeah, there are 4 TVs that I use, and 3 of them are on ESPN, ABC, and Fox all day long.
Saturday's one of those days.
Yeah.
ABC never leaves my main TV Saturday. I got Alabama, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, and Georgia, Auburn.
And my 4th TV, I quad box it.
Yeah.
And I put 4 games in it. It's easy TV setup nowadays.
Yeah. I never have to change my main.
Yeah.
And unless one of those is a blowout. Sometimes if it's a blowout, you get kicked out.
So will you guys have Oklahoma, Texas? I know it depends on how the game plays out, but right now Indiana, Oregon, 1,000% is on the main for me.
No, I'm going to go SEC first. Now, if it starts to be a bad game, I'll flip it. But I'm always going to go good SEC game over anything else.
Yeah. See, I think
as long as it's a good SEC game.
I think the question in the afternoon window is which ends up being the more competitive game: Oklahoma, Texas, or Arkansas, Tennessee. If you're just going to the SEC,
yeah,
Oklahoma, Texas.
I mean, he picks an upset.
Think Arkansas is going to win?
He picks an upset.
But I still think Oklahoma, Texas. I think the offenses are so bad right now. If Mateer doesn't play and these defenses are so dominant, just don't see how this is not a good game.
What was that number again yesterday? The total? You said it was NFL.
Oh, for like 43.
Yeah, for Oklahoma, Texas.
Yeah, which is it's 43.5 this morning at mybookie.ag.
It seems like just a couple years ago we had a Red River that was over that by halftime,
right?
God,
the Red River used to be
when Caleb Williams came in for Spencer Rattler. You remember the game, and it was the same day that Calzada beat Alabama.
That's right.
Yeah, so Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fought that night. There was a lot going on. I remember all this. But you remember Texas got up huge.
Vandy, Alabama won the ratings that day.
But Texas got up big. And then Oklahoma came steaming back, and I don't know, they scored 70, 80-something points in that game.
Yeah, so
different atmosphere this weekend at Red River. A little bit more on that, Brownie, after we tell you about a couple of our great sponsors. One of them is our sleeper pick today. Did I get a winner yesterday in baseball?
No, you had Liberty, which...
Were they playing baseball?
They did cover. And,
no.
But
we had Liberty last night.
That was a sleeper game, man. I mean, 19-8. Liberty beat UTEP. Malachi Nelson, the one-time 5-star recruit, USC, right?
Got benched, yeah.
Got benched in the game, 4 of 10, 21 yards. His QBR was 3.5. That's not out on a 10-point scale. That's out of 100.
Yeah, I got to tell you this. So going back, when Malachi Nelson signed, I was told, everybody heard this was going to be the next great USC quarterback. And you guys remember Caleb Williams declares for the draft. Miller Moss starts that game against Louisville. I thought Malachi Nelson would take over the next season. It ends up being Miller Moss. He transfers out. He can't even win the job over Maddox Madsen at Boise, so he transfers to UTEP. If you can't start for the Miners – and that was one of the worst uniform games ever last night. Anyway, you did have Liberty last night. We had Liberty. That was your sleeper pick. Who are you going with today? Some big games in baseball.
My sleeper pick tonight is, sadly, Sam Houston State over Jack State.
Oof. I almost put that in my upset alert.
I have sworn that team off.
Who, Jack State or Sam Houston?
Sam Houston State. I can't tell you how bad they are.
That's a lot of points for Jack State to be laying on the road. Yeah. On the highway, as far as
it is the right side, but I will not play that game tonight. But
I like Sam Houston State. I like Georgia Southern. I like East Carolina to cover, and I like La Tech.
So he's got 4 sleepers.
Jimmy with the
4
parlay.
sleepers,
Yeah.
but the best home sleep testing and CPAP out there is from our friends at CPAP Plus, the O'Neill brothers, 5 locations throughout the state, Birmingham, Trussville, Pelham, Foley, Troy. You need the good 8 hours of sleep. If you're not getting it, you're groggy, you're tired all day, it's bad for your health. Nobody wants to deal with the lab. Nobody wants to deal with the insurance. Our friends at CPAP Plus at sleephomealabama.com. No lab, no insurance, just easy to wear. Fingertip devices, clinically validated, connects to your smartphone, complete with the physician's interpretation of your results. Only $199 to get Alabama's best home sleep testing and CPAP. Go online today, sleephomealabama.com. That is sleephomealabama.com.
All right, Eagles 7-point favorites tonight as they take on the New York Giants in the Amazon NFL game. Sounds like you're playing it at the Amazon in the NFL game on Amazon Prime, on Prime TV.
That was one of the questions last night. Longer river, Amazon or Nile?
Nile. Ooh. You go Amazon?
I just think I'm going to go Amazon.
I will tell you right now because Brown sent this to me. I didn't remember. It is actually the Nile.
Boom.
4,135 miles. The Amazon 4,086 miles.
Wow.
Can you imagine entertainment with a 6-pack of beer down one of those?
So he sent that to you, and he got the answer correct.
And I got it correct, but I didn't. I had zero confidence in it. It was a 50-50 shot.
Well, he sent me a huge group of different questions.
I had to miss trivia last night, so I was helping Lance with some questions.
So that was the question last night?
Oh, no, that's coming up later. Alabama.
Y'all will like the question later because it's not a multiple choice, and you're just going to have to use your knowledge. Yeah.
Alabama, a 3-point favorite tomorrow at Missouri, or Saturday at Missouri, I should say. Texas, a 1-point favorite in the Red River. Oregon, a 7.5-point favorite as they take on Indiana. And the Georgia Bulldogs still holding a 3.5-point favorite as they face the Auburn Tigers in Auburn. All those games can be played right now at mybookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND for that bet back bonus. You can see more about that at mybookie.ag. Code NEXTROUND is going to get you that $500 bet back bonus. You can play that and all the games at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Mybookie.ag. Code NEXTROUND. Mybookie.ag. Code NEXTROUND.
I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait. So let's go ahead and do it now. What was the question last night at Odie's? I can't wait. Let's all see if we can guess it.
So,
back row microphones too. Let's get everybody.
What U.S. university has the largest undergrad enrollment? And online doesn't count because I was asked that. Our buddy Hamp came up and he's like, "Is online?"
Yeah, because that's
this?
like Grand Canyon has a huge
that's what
online.
he was talking about Grand Canyon.
We learned that in the NCAA tournament 2 years ago.
Biggest undergrad. I'm going to go Ohio State University.
Ohio State for you.
I've got the top 3, so I don't know where Ohio State is.
Back row.
Not in the top
I'm going to say
obviously.
Arizona State.
Arizona State. Okay.
I know UCF is huge.
It is.
I'll go UCF.
Okay, Tyler.
I'm going to go with Michigan.
Okay.
That's in the chat room.
Yeah, Michigan is where I was going to go. But since you went Michigan, I am going to go
Montevallo,
Wisconsin.
Okay, so I found out Liberty has 54,000 undergrads. You know, my girl graduated from Liberty. I had no idea it was that big. Some of these universities, because when I was in Tuscaloosa, it was only 16,000. The number 3 is Arizona State.
Okay. Good job. Somebody got that back there.
Brooks?
I think 63,000 roughly. At number 2 is Texas A&M at 68,000 undergrads.
How about that? Giggle.
And the number 1.
No female cheerleaders, though. You got 68,000 undergrads. You're like, you know what we're going to do? All male cheerleaders. We're not going to have any females. Can't be any good-looking women here. 68,000.
Not only do we appreciate his hard work, I appreciate him giving me a heads up. It was going to be cold in here this morning. Scott Forster's 100% on it. It is the University of Central Florida at 69,000 undergrads.
UCF.
And I know one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Debbie.
One of our softball players is now a freshman at UCF.
Yeah. The first baseman?
Yep. Kendall
I
Trim.
cannot imagine going to a school that is that big.
massive.
Odie's great place to go for lunch or dinner. Watch Thursday night football, whether it's the NFL or college. Live music tonight and tomorrow night. Get in and see Will Haver and that great staff. 2 locations. Crestline, the original, newest location, Edgewood. Birmingham Institution is Odie's Tavern.
Back to college football in a moment, and we will get to Josh Pate coming up to start hour number 2. What was the laugh there for?
I'm just laughing. I'm thinking you've got 68,000 students in the state of Texas. A lot of good-looking women there. Like, you could have the best-looking set of cheerleaders in all of college football. 68,000 to choose from, and you're like, nope. We're going to dress men up like they're going to paint a house.
Yeah.
And let them do it.
I mean, it really doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense
I mean,
whatsoever.
technically, it'd be the second biggest pool of applicants to choose from.
Exactly.
Well,
and
used to
you're
be
in
able to-
Texas.
Used to be able to roll somebody out for R.C. Slocum and let them play on special teams for you.
I know.
Who cares if they can cheer or not? Just get the best looking ones down there.
Bojangles' tender moment of the day. Tell us about Bojangles.
It can be bow time for you at Bojangles. They've got those great chicken tenders for lunch or for dinner with the great dipping sauces that go with it. Also, at Bojangles, they can be your catering for those college football watch parties. If your team is on the road this weekend, or the tailgate parties for high school and college when your teams are at home. Get it at Bojangles. It can always be bow time.
Listen, you will not watch any of it this weekend. I would bet on that. But the tender moments will happen this weekend. It's the Corn Ferry Tour Championship event.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm the golfer.
Golf Channel today, and then the finals coming up this weekend. If you finish up, what makes it really good drama, and this is one of those things I wish ended in the summer, because this was something I would watch on a Sunday afternoon if there wasn't football going on, to be honest with you.
Right.
If you finish in the top 20 in points in the Corn Ferry Tour, you get a PGA Tour card for the next year. You get your PGA Tour card. And the drama that comes down to the final round on this, where you're jockeying to battle your way into the top 20 of points, is great drama. And you get that this weekend. I mean, this is really a rags to riches opportunity for a couple of guys this weekend.
You can't overstate how difficult it is to do this, really. To earn your PGA Tour card this way. I mean, it is so incredibly difficult. And there's some guys that are already locked in, but to Dunaway's point, I think it'll probably be like the last 5 or 10 spots would be transition spots there. Guy could play his way off the tour, guy could play his way on the tour, and it's life-changing.
I don't know if you guys watched, and it was on the viewing menu one day, Cocaine Quarterback.
Yeah.
I only watched the first episode, but it was this walk-on at USC, and like 80 or 90 people walked on, so I would assume he was the only guy that made the team.
This is the
just
equivalent
because
of
he
that.
was such an incredible athlete.
Yeah, now if I had my way, Dunaway, our Ryder Cup team would be 12 Corn Ferry Tour members, and for every point they earn at the Ryder Cup, they get a year of eligibility on the PGA Tour.
Oh, I like that.
If I had my way. That's how I would change the Ryder Cup.
So we would end up, it'd be like our old Olympic basketball. We'd be sending our best non-professionals.
That's right. Well, they're still they're professionals. They're lower level professionals.
But they're basically playing to eat.
To eat.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, can you imagine a guy going out there earning 4 points? I've got 4 years on the PGA Tour now.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys would be playing to eat.
Yeah.
That'd be the way I'd change it.
Yeah, that'd be enjoyable television. It's fun television if you get a chance, or maybe there's a Netflix documentary, or can watch just the highlights of the drama of the Corn Ferry this weekend. When we come back, Hugh Freeze asked about if he's coaching for his job this weekend. Aaron Suttles from Bama and Bourbon on his belief that Bill Belichick is already making professional decisions, and reports out of Chapel Hill that back that up. All that's coming up straight ahead. Show being brought to you by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Let Leslie and her board-certified team help you jumpstart your weight loss right now. You can do it by going to the website of planforme.com. planforme.com, no contracts, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free. What you're going to find when you meet Leslie and her board-certified team is that no plan is the same. Every plan is different. So many different next-round viewers and listeners, and all the way back to our radio days, are there either maintaining or losing weight. And she does it with a variety of different ways, whether it's injection therapy, meal replacements, and, of course, the protein bars that I use that help me keep from bad snacking. And, boy, that makes a difference, because yesterday I left my protein bars at home and I bad snacked all day long. Way to Wellness. Go get the details and find out how it can help you. planforme.com. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, a car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459 exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the next round anywhere with NextRound.store.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Back with you on the Next Round. As we move into this part of the show, we're about to give you the answer from Hugh Freeze that he was asked on the SEC Teleconference by a reporter, not Eli Drinkwitz. After I remind you that our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing, Greg from Pell City, wants to help you as a young family, maybe an older family, or maybe a middle-aged family, anywhere in between. Secure the roof over your head, literally. He is a good local family man. He and his wife, Andrea, own Storm Restoration Roofing. They have for over 20 years. It's locally owned. And what Greg, as a father of 10, wants to do for you is make securing your roof and protecting your roof the most affordable thing that you can do when you compare it to other companies. What he does is give you a free, no-cost, no-obligation roof inspection. You may not have had your roof inspected in a long, long time. He gets up there and lets you know if you got a shingle issue anywhere, if you have any at any connection points, any leakage or cracking that may have water that's leaking in to your roof that can cause major damage. So just start with that free no-cost roof inspection. He can handle new roof replacements when the old one has aged out. He lets you know if you got about 3 more years left on that roof. You need to replace it now. You're good for another 5 years. He'll give you that kind of assessment. He does roofing repairs, storm damage repairs. He's got a builder's license, so he can handle some of that as well. And he's got financing available and great relationships with your insurance providers to help you the most affordable way you can to keep a good roof over your head. It's Storm Restoration Roofing, 205-542-3531. Does anyone believe Hugh Freeze is literally coaching for his job this weekend?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, possibly, says you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a brick in the building. Like, are you asking me if he loses Saturday, does he get fired Sunday? I don't think that is the case.
I maybe the health issue would be a reason that could save him.
But could this just add to it? Yes.
Yeah, but like if I'm Auburn and you get run in this game, which I don't think they will. I think Auburn right now, as we sit here on a Thursday, I think they're going to win this game. But if they were to lose by double digits coming off a bye, there is absolutely no hope for this team. And at that point, year 3, I think Hugh Freeze would get blown out. So I still think it's in play.
Yeah, again, but whenever it happens, I think it'll happen with it not being a firing. It's mutual parting of ways. I'm going to go take care of my health and my family. But he was asked about it. Are you coaching for your job? It's become part of a conversation. He said, quote, "I don't pay attention to any of that. Of course, I'm a person of faith. I know my story is being written way above my pay grade, and I know we're doing things the right way here. We're getting closer each game. We're playing 3 top 10 teams in a row, and you've got an opportunity to knock them off. That's our sole focus. This is not about me. It's about our kids and getting ready to play in a great rivalry like Georgia."
So, I'm sorry, Lance. No. Nicholas asked in the chat, if he loses this game, what's his conference record at Auburn?
It's 5-14.
5-14.
Yeah.
I mean, he will never be above 500.
That's
in the
embarrassing.
conference.
That is absolutely shameful.
Yeah, I mean, he will never be above 500 in the conference as the Auburn coach. Do you know how long he'd have to coach just to get above 500?
Well, and Brown, this is going to be 3 consecutive seasons if they do lose this game of starting 0-3 in the conference. Yeah. We brought this point up yesterday. When you start 0-3 in this conference, you have absolutely no shot.
Yeah. So, again, you're not talking about getting rid of him before the next game.
I don't think so, but
what's the point?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's the point with any of these guys getting fired?
It's the booster getting their taste of blood. It's the booster. I want you to show me, or I want to show the world how pissed off I am.
Okay, John Summerall is going to be attractive in this offseason. I'm just saying, if that is the guy that you have already pinpointed as your number 1, it's easier when you do have an interim coach to go on and have those conversations.
Right now, who's open? Arkansas?
Yep.
Oklahoma State, they fired their coach. UCLA's fired theirs. Is that it?
That's it.
Of the major ones, Virginia Tech.
Yeah, you'd have the best job open right now.
Yeah, you would definitely have the best job open.
Yeah, now, Florida could come open. That's a better job.
But, I mean, if I'm Oak State, not that he would take that job, I would go after John Summerall. If I'm Arkansas, I would take a look at John Summerall. I mean, all these – I just think he's going to be a hot name. And I'm not saying that is the guy that Auburn necessarily wants. I think it would be a great hire. Of course, I thought Hugh Freeze would be a great hire.
I mean, Wisconsin's going to open up. Auburn's a better job than Wisconsin.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know what else is going to open up right now. Florida could still. I mean, Napier.
Now, I do think
Napier's rising up out of caskets on this show.
Most likely, Marcelo said he thinks it's already done, that Napier's not back.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting now, and I never would have thought this before, if Lane Kiffin was to take Florida or somebody takes Florida, Ole Miss might be a better job than Auburn right now.
Might be. I just don't know where the NIL is. We saw that graphic last week of, what the rosters were, and Ole Miss's was well down there. And Lane continues to kind of hint at NIL. Maybe it's not where he wants it to be.
Well, I mean, Lane yesterday made a comment about Auburn moving the game. He says, NIL money is not the end-all, be-all. And he was making a statement that he was sort of sad that they moved that game out of Jordan-Hare to Atlanta. There's Lane commenting on Auburn again. He seems to do that pretty quickly.
First year NIL, his quarterback was driving an Aston Martin around Oxford. I don't know about this NIL.
But, I mean, to answer your ultimate question, Jim, I think losses like this, I noticed, and I don't know if you guys noticed the same thing, I noticed a lot of Auburn fans, Texas A&M was the tipping point for them. I had so many Auburn fans after that game say a version of, I'm done with this guy.
Yeah, and look, and I know he paints it as we lost to a top 10 on the road, 1 possession, but you guys know how that thing played out.
There's not an Auburn fan out there that thinks that was a 16-10 game. They know that was a worse beatdown than that.
But as we sit here, do you guys really think it's smart to let fans the fan temperature dictate
Well, it's not
your
the fan
hiring process.
Well, I mean, what's a booster? He's a fan.
Yeah. And I think it just depends on if people. Again, I think it'll be electric in Jordan-Hare Saturday night. But if I'm a fan and these boosters have paid him top 17 money, and the fact of the matter is he's 14-16 overall. You talk about how bad it is in the SEC.
Yeah, the overall's not much better.
14-16 overall. I mean, what grade would you give him right now? Two plus years in. I give an F.
I know where he's coming out of, the Brian Harsin years. I know what wasn't there. Do you think Auburn's a better football team today than they were last year, the year before that, or the year before that?
Oh, I don't know.
I think they
really.
are. Yeah. I think they are a better team than they were this time last year and than they were 2 years ago.
But you can't have a 3-year excuse. You just can't. You can't be this poor for 3 years. Again, go back and look at Kirk Cincinnati.
Yeah, I mean, that is one thing. In this world, it is hard to give a guy 3 years to turn a program around. In this world. Now, used to, when I got to recruit my way out of this, all right, that's a different story. But in this world, it is hard to give a guy 3 years to turn a program
More
around.
difficult job, what Eli Drinkwitz took over or what Hugh Freeze took over?
Drinkwitz.
Drinkwitz, probably, just because of the names on the helmet. But a lot of the early years for Drink was in the SEC East.
Yeah, that helped.
It was different.
It helped. There's no doubt that helped.
Drink is 0-3 versus the top 25 of SEC teams last year. He didn't beat a top 25 SEC team last year, and he's 7-14 all time.
Yeah, I still think Auburn fans would love to do what Drink's doing right now. What did you say?
We'd love to do it right now.
Yeah. Over the last 3 years. This Missouri.
I mean, who wouldn't? He's 26 and 5.
I don't know how you can take up for Hugh Freeze.
I'm not
right
taking
now.
up for him. I'm playing the other side of what is always a very strong opinion about what's going to happen down the road. I'm just playing the other side of it.
Well, a strong opinion. It's not a strong opinion. He's going to lose his job, whether it's Sunday or it's at the end of the year. He is not going to be Auburn's coach next year, I don't believe.
Okay. Talladega Super Speedway brings you a part of the show. Tell us about Talladega as we go racing.
877-GO-TO-DEGA, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. That's where you reserve your spot in the grandstands, in the infield, in the camping area. Reserve your garage experience presented by Cool Ray. You can go see that great Whiskey Myers concert on Saturday night. All of that right there at the Talladega Super Speedway. It is coming up 1 week from tomorrow, the 17th, 18th, 19th at Talladega. 877-GO-TO-DEGA, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. If you've never been, you're cheating yourself. Go to the Yellowwood 500 weekend coming up next weekend at the Talladega Super Speedway.
And our friends at the Pants Store getting you ready for the exciting game day at Jordan-Hare Stadium. If you need new Auburn gear, maybe the temperature is going to be different than your Auburn gear that you have. You want some cooler temperatures like a hoodie or something, you can get that at the Pants Store. It's a home for Alabama and Auburn polos, hats, quarter zips, and a lot more from the name brands like Horn Legend, Cutter and Buck, Antigua, and Gentile. Nothing says War Eagle or Roll Tide like the Pants Store, and they got the ladies' gear ready to go, the fall boots with these great temperatures, the perfect dress or the romper, and anything with free alterations and free gift wrapping. It's all right there. Great brick and mortar stores from Auburn to Tuscaloosa and Huntsville and all over Birmingham, but they'll ship anywhere. So easy. Pantstore.com, pantstore.com. Just because I don't run along with the mob doesn't mean I don't agree with you or disagree with you. I'm just playing the other side of it. I'm not going to run around with the zealots all the time with torches, canceling everything and saying, let's burn it all down, because if you burn it all down, there's nothing left. Well, I just don't think every coach gets fired when they lose 2 games on the road to top 25 teams. I just don't believe that's a sane way of looking at it.
No, but this is – see, I think what you're losing focus on is how big of a sample size we've got. And, again, I said that this was a slam dunk. I thought it was a home run hire. I thought Hugh Freeze would be great at Auburn, but you've given him plenty of time.
Yeah. So if they win on Saturday, which is possible.
Oh, yeah, I just said I think they're going to win.
And I do too. So then, we do this every time we bring up Hugh Freeze. Give me that Auburn schedule again, Scott. If they beat Georgia.
Yeah, I've already looked at it. Best case would be 8-4. And look, I think 8-4 probably would save his job.
Okay, but you just said you don't think he's the coach next year. But you think he's going to win.
Because I think best case is 8-4.
I can't get on board with you here.
Are you playing golf with your guys today?
No, I'm just saying that it doesn't hurt to play out.
Oh, I said yesterday I wouldn't fire in mid-season based on the new transfer rules where you've got to wait 5 days.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that
I just always try to to roll you guys back a little bit from saying these absolute things that could still play out.
They could, but
in a different direction.
But to also say that they could go to the Iron Bowl with playoff implications is absurd,
that's absurd.
right now. That's absurd.
Yeah.
Jim, I mean, you can't just dismiss me
I
saying
said
that's absurd.
They could.
No, they can't.
Brown, if they beat Georgia,
Brown, the Saints can still win the Super Bowl.
Saints can win the Super
Do you know that?
Dunaway,
Dunaway, do you realize the Saints can win the Super Bowl? If they win out, they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Have you watched this offense? They had 127 yards at Texas A&M. Was that the number? Was that the number? 127?
Yeah. All I know is Texas A&M's pretty good defense, right, at home. They did almost the same thing to Mississippi State this past week.
Well, that doesn't help your argument.
No. Mississippi State scored 34 in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Y'all have told me this year that Mississippi State's pretty good. They've improved. Maybe the most improved team in the league.
No, Lance says they're going to lose the rest of their games.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not to talk about this Auburn team being playoff alive feels absurd.
Our friends at Bama and Bourbon with Lance and Aaron Suttles had this to say yesterday about Bill Belichick, who, as if you've watched everything that's happened since Saturday's embarrassing loss to Clemson, they've had the parents talking about dysfunction in the program. Probably those parents were set up by internal people at North Carolina to do interviews with media outlets, WRAL included. You've had now some leakage of North Carolina players selling their tickets, which is a violation, and now warning from the administration not to sell your tickets, your eligibility. That's internal dirt leakage coming out. And then it got so bad yesterday that NBC and others were reporting that there's already been discussion about buyout options and exit strategy from Bill Belichick's people to the administration and back and forth. And then you get the athletic director and Bill Belichick issuing a joint statement, sort of the vote of confidence, and I'm all in on turning around the program from Bill Belichick. Aaron Suttles on Bama and Bourbon yesterday. They talked a lot of Alabama, but they took a moment to talk about Bill Belichick. Here's LT and Suttles.
I'll go ahead and say I'll call my shot now. Belichick doesn't make it through the season.
Through the season?
I don't know if he makes it through the next week. He's a PR disaster.
He is. But what does that do to his legacy? Because
it destroys it. Well, no, that's not fair.
But it went back to was it Tom Brady or Belichick? And then we learned quickly when your Bucks won a championship with Brady, and then Belichick never did anything really without Brady. And now
he was on the verge of passing Don Shula as the NFL's all-time winningest coach. He'll never get another shot in the NFL, I don't think.
I don't think so either. And I think he was viewed, though, although he didn't have those wins, I think he was viewed as the greatest NFL coach of all time.
100%. You win that many Super Bowls, and the way that they developed and recognized and identified talent, I mean, it's hard to argue, but the way it's gone south for North Carolina from a PR standpoint alone, aside from what's on the field, which has been a disaster when they play a team with a pulse. The girlfriend thing aside, I don't want to get into it. That's his personal life, but there's some issues with she running things. That's an issue.
Well, yeah, if she
in the
is.
building.
But I don't even think that's been the biggest distraction. They just suck.
They're horrible. That you don't see a long-term building future with them. This whole Hulu thing must have been a disaster.
Oh God.
That they're going to owe whoever's been behind the scenes shooting this. So you're going to have to write that off. Honestly, I don't know if he makes it through the next week or two.
So you guys have been doing this a long time, right? I mean, we've all been in this business. We know how it works. When a reporter tracks down 4 or 5 family members of players, why do you think the reporter does that?
Yeah, as I said earlier, he was tipped off by the inside folks there. Yeah. I just said that to WRAL did the report. I mean, those parents aren't usually readily available.
Yeah, you think those are hard parents to track down?
Yeah.
No. Or do you think the reporter was given hey,
call these people?
Yeah, call those numbers right there. It'd be good for you.
I just wonder internally what the relationship with Belichick and his players are, if there is any relationships. I mean, fact of the matter is they've played 3 Power 4 teams. They've been outscored on average 40-11.
Not good.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to win another game. I mean, when you look at it, do you guys realistically think? I mean, Stanford in Chapel Hill.
I don't know. Stanford's awful.
But at that point, has everybody tapped out? At least Stanford sees a little light at the end of the tunnel with this booster that's given them $25-50 million.
Yeah.
Dabo, by the way, called off the Dogs way early in that game.
Oh, I think they scored 28 points in the first 14 plays. I mean, he could have scored 1,000 if he had wanted to, and nobody would have been there to see it.
That was
like a tree falling into the woods.
Respect thing.
Yeah,
for Bill Belichick.
But I'm not surprised these parents are going to pile on because there is something that women absolutely hate, and they hate when an older man dates a younger woman. They absolutely hate it, and this is next level when you're talking about the 50-year gap.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of these players' parents that are older than Jordan Hudson, I mean, they've been waiting for this moment. So, like, this thing is going to go really bad. I don't know how quick it goes bad. When you get the vote of confidence, we've all seen this a million times. That's almost just an extra log on the fire.
Yeah, I disagree with impacting his legacy at all. We'll forget this. We'll forget this, 5 years from now.
I kind of agree. You'll be like, oh, yeah, he did coach college football.
I think the problem, though, that he hasn't had a winning season since 2019.
But how often do you think back about Bill Walsh's second tenure at Stanford? You almost have to be reminded he went back to Stanford. You know what I'm saying?
I got one for you that
Okay.
I didn't even know existed. I didn't even know it happened. And he played 8 games. I just looked it up. Started 6 of them. Do y'all remember where Franco Harris played his last football game?
Seattle.
Seahawks. 8 games. Started 6 of them.
Yeah, but when I think great NFL players, I never think Franco Harris.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's
he
a
was.
Hall of Famer, the running back of the 70s.
I get it, but it's just been so long removed is what I'm saying there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a long time ago. I'm just saying that I remember, God, I even remember a Johnny Unitas picture in a Chargers uniform. I think that's who he went to. Namath easily in a Rams uniform, O.J. Simpson in a 49ers uniform. I remember all those.
Stabler in a Saints uniform.
I think the only people that are really going to remember this.
Jordan in a Wizards uniform.
I think people that are very involved in sports right now, because in 40 or 50 years, you're going to look at the greatest ever do it, and you're going to look at all those rings, and, he still is going to be one of the top 2 or 3, and he'll be on everybody's, what am I looking for?
Mount Rushmore?
There you go.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't think his time at North Carolina, in fact, the shorter it goes, the better it is for Bill Belichick.
Yeah, probably
That's
so.
why I would be walking down the office and like, hey, what is the exit plan here? What can we do?
Unless he really believes they can get better, and by what we've seen, I don't know how it's possible.
Josh Pate coming up at the top of the hour. Before we get to the viewing menu and Lance tells us about Hemp Hill, just a refresher before Pate gets here of what Lance predicted back in the summer when Josh Pate was on our show one time. He joins us all the time. What's that date up in the corner, Brownie?
That is June 18th of 2025.
June 18th in the summer. June 18th. This is LT and Josh Pate.
Let's look ahead to one SEC game, major college football playoff implications, October 11th. Look in your crystal ball. One undefeated team, 5-0 Oklahoma. 3-2 Texas coming into this game.
How did Texas get to 3-2?
Oh, they're going to be 3-2 at this point. I'm telling you right now. You heard it here first. They're losing to Ohio State. They're losing at Florida. They're 3-2 coming into this game. But better quarterback coming into this game. Who do you feel better about right now, Mateer or Manning?
Oh, this is Dark Lance. So we have to put it on. This is Dark Lance. John Mateer's my guy in this scenario. Is he not?
Okay.
Oh, so
he didn't scoff at you, did
Pate
he?
agreeing with you there. Dark Lance and Josh Pate. Pate coming up at the top of the hour. That kind of futuristic predictions at Lance. I can't guarantee apparently success, but lanceslock.com gives you a better chance of getting
another winning night last night. I mean, jump on board. We are cooking right now. More divisional action, Major League Baseball available today. We will have college football. Working on some NFL. Really difficult game in the NFC East tonight, where we've been killing the NFL 18-7 early on the season. If you want to win, jump on board. Free play every single day at lanceslog.com. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, cooling, any of those issues arise in your home or business. They are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
And before LT tells us about Michelson, I want to remind Alabama and Auburn fans that the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar is there for you this weekend. Game day deserves the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar because fan work is thirsty work. So if you're heading down to the great games at Jordan-Hare this weekend or kicking back and watching the Tide with an early kickoff at Como, Coke Zero Sugar because fan work is thirsty work. He'll tell us about Michelson after we do the viewing menu. Tell us what you're watching, Tyler.
All right, we got a couple new releases tonight. First off, the biggest release is Tron Ares. This is the third film in the Tron series. I've never been a big Tron guy, but this is a big release, and it's got an interesting premise. Mankind will encounter AI beings for the first time when a highly sophisticated program named Ares leaves the digital world for a dangerous mission in the real world, and it stars Jared Leto.
So I saw the original, I think it was 82 with Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
I used to play the game way back in the day.
I like the game.
The thing that would excite me, I'm sure visually it's going to be pretty amazing, but Nine Inch Nails doing the score.
Yes, the song they had already released that was attached to the trailer was really good.
Yeah. Good ride at Magic Kingdom, too, the Tron ride. It's a good one. It goes fast.
You ride the
Goes
bikes.
fast.
Yeah, you ride the bikes. It goes fast.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Part of it's outside, part of it's inside, too.
We've also got Roofman. I mentioned this on Monday. This is Channing Tatum hiding out in a Toys R Us for months on end while on the run from the law. And it's also got Kirsten Dunst, Peter Dinklage, and Lakeith Stanfield, currently sitting at an 84 on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. 84 is a good number.
Yep. We've got a Prime documentary on Saquon Barkley called Saquon. It began as a video diary documenting his ACL recovery 5 years ago, but the camera kept rolling after his return, revealing an intimate journey through his frustrations over the lack of control of his career, quiet family moments, and ultimately his dominant year with the Eagles, culminating in a storybook Super Bowl win on his birthday. This is Saquon like you've never seen him before.
Yeah. Well, we get Saquon tonight. You can watch that leading into the game on Prime. Eagles and Giants tonight. Get a little Saquon.
And finally, I will be watching the season finale of Peacemaker on HBO Max. This is James Gunn's series with John Cena as a part of his DC universe, and I've really been enjoying it.
How primal was his scream last week? The yell, the scream there. Was that pretty vocal?
What?
I don't know. I saw somewhere on the social. I'm not watching it. Just in my timeline, it was like, boy, Cena's scream was primal there.
Oh, he cried in the last episode.
Oh,
that was
man.
a pretty rough scene.
Yeah. Okay. That's maybe that's what they were talking about.
Hey, by
was
the
he
way-
wailing?
Yeah, he was wailing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Snowfall would be in my top 10 shows of all time. I finished it 60 episodes in 4 weeks.
Wow, that's really
sprint.
Michelson brings you that viewing menu. Josh Pate in just a second.
205-969-8100, the number I called back in 2003. Got the procedure done, had the 2200 vision, was legally blind without the aid of contacts. After the procedure, 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call I made. Ask for Amy Tower. The next round sent you. 205-969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. Make the phone call today. Hassle-free consultation. If you've been procrastinating, now is the time to call them. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shannara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
New hour of the show. Let's power it up with Josh Pate, brought to you by our friends at Alabama Power.
Yeah, Alabama Power, a great member of our community, just like they're a great business in our community. They're not just about powering homes, though. Since 2000, Renew Our Rivers, coordinated by Alabama Power, has grown to one of the nation's largest river cleanups. Started as a community cleanup along the Coosa, it's grown into a movement. More than 104,000 volunteers, more than 13.5 million pounds of trash pulled out of Alabama's waterways. You want to keep Alabama beautiful? Check out the 2025 cleanup schedule at alabamapower.com/renewourrivers. Josh Pate joins us now. You see him everywhere. Everywhere. Look, I just saw him on ESPN before he was on with us. What is up, Pate? How are you, my friend?
Dunaway, do you want to just publicly share the private conversation you and I have had over the past 2 minutes?
Here we go.
Because I got to do it if you don't do it. So go ahead.
I'm sitting here, and I follow Pate everywhere, as Brown says. He's everywhere.
Everywhere.
And he drops baby merchandise the other night. Pate State baby merch. And then Cole Kubelik over at Jocks, and Pate, they're really good friends. He follows up, announcement? Question mark? And I just texted Pate. I said, hey, I missed your answer to Cole's question about was that an announcement?
You're not the only one, is my point. Do you think it was because we put the little baby in the picture that people thought that we were having a kid? And to my knowledge, we're not. Okay. That's not an outright denial. Just as far as I know,
it's in play.
We're not.
Yeah. I mean,
we are having baby onesies in the store, but we are not having a baby per se. Yeah. At least that I know.
Yeah, you're in fall camp right now. You hadn't named a starter. We get it.
There you go. Your words better than mine, per usual.
But you're not afraid to go good on good, is what I'm saying.
Wow.
No, we try and do good on good at least once a day. I'm just saying you don't always know the results that you're going to get from
That's right.
Hey, so most responsible adults don't like hypotheticals. I love hypotheticals. If you could hypothetically only watch one game this weekend, who would it be?
The ball don't lie game.
But is that the answer?
I don't know.
I'm going to Bama, Missouri. However, if you told me, oh, you just got to be able to watch one, is it not OU Texas? Because that's the one that has the most toxic potential. And by the way, I don't know how many victory laps you've taken this week, but it can't be enough. Undefeated versus 3-2. We were sitting here in August. It was August.
Well, when I found out, it was June.
We dug it back.
Played the soundbite. It was June.
When I found out you were coming on, I got Scott, and he was great enough professional to pull this quickly. But we just played your clip, and it was June 18th.
Wow. And they called you, I don't know if they called you a Longhorn hater. I got called a Longhorn hater just for repeating you. So you had to have been labeled a Longhorn hater. And then we circle all the way around the globe to this week, and I'm being called a Longhorn homer because I actually think they're going to find some way somehow to beat Oklahoma.
I'm with you. I think they will too. And I had a guy last night. He's like, "Oh, they can't." And I was like, "They still have a top 10 defense, and we don't know how effective, if he's going to play at all, Mateer is going to be."
But can I tell you this? I hope John Mateer is 100%. Because I think Texas could win the game either way. Like, Texas's ground game's been horrible. Offense has been terrible, but that's well known. I think it's less known that Oklahoma, who I am sky high on, I took Mateer to win the Heisman, so I couldn't be any higher on him. Their tailbacks in Power 4 play have averaged under 3 yards per carry. So it's not like they've lit the world on fire there either. Now, with Mateer, obviously, they got a much better shot. But if he starts snap 1 versus snap 61, I wonder what that looks like. I wonder if they have to fundamentally alter their game plan. I said this the other day. I took a lot of heat from Oklahoma folks. I said one team really wants to win the game. One team just flat out needs to win the game. Obviously, I'm referring to Texas and the latter there. And Oklahoma folks were quick to say, oh, no, that's ridiculous. You're downplaying how much we care about this game. No, I'm not. It's my favorite rivalry game to go to. I fully get what it's about. But the bottom line is if Texas loses this, their season's over. For all intents and purposes, it's over. If Oklahoma loses this game and you and I and everyone around the table are talking Monday, we're just saying all of their goals are still in front of them. That's the definition of a must win. And they got to have it. And I think, the pessimist would look at this and say, if you're Texas, oh man, now we got to play Oklahoma. The competitor would look at it and say, we've got to have a spark moment that turns our season around. If it's going to happen, wouldn't that happen against Oklahoma? If it's going to happen, if Arch is going to find his groove, if that offensive line is finally going to nut up and play like scholarship offensive linemen should play at Texas, if our tailbacks are ever going to make plays, wide receivers ever going to get separation, in other words, do what you're supposed to do when you play at Texas. If that's ever going to happen, does that not happen this Saturday in Dallas? Like, that's the way they should look at that. I'm not fingers crossed for my prediction that they do think like that.
Do you ever, if you're Brent Venables, consider if Mateer is just not 100% but wants to gut it out, do you sit him knowing that the College Football Playoff Committee down the road has to at least factor that aspect in if you lose this football game? Does that ever play in your mind?
Yeah, most people would answer yes to this. The right answer may be yes. I hate it because I believe that rivalries, this is my own personal worldview. This is not the way college football actually works. But in my world, rivalries are the pinnacle of college football. I care about it more than I care about the playoff. So I'm in the vast minority on that. So to me, it's if you could, I don't care if you have to bear crawl over broken glass. If you can play against Texas, you play against Texas, come what may. From the standpoint of achieving their goals down the road, there's a lot of validity. There's a lot of merit to the scenario you just presented. I don't think we'll ever be privy to those conversations. I don't know, maybe years later when the book gets written. But I do wonder here's two things, Jim. Number one, how much of that is spoken? How much of that doesn't even need to be spoken? It's just kind of understood around the building. That's the second part I'd love to know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm a proponent of the playoff. I like the playoff more than you do. But the minute it starts trumping rivalry games, I'm going to have an issue. I don't disagree at all with you on that one. Josh Pate, he is the host of the Josh Pate College Football Show. You can see that on YouTube. Same place you get us, just where you get Josh. Make sure you watch it, you subscribe, you set your alerts so you know when he's live. sell me on Missouri here. If you're an Alabama fan, you know they're good, you know they're ranked, you know they've run the ball well, but you also look at that schedule and you're like, my word, who have they even played? So why should I? And this is where the fall don't lie tour is going. So why should I believe in Missouri?
Well, if you don't already believe in them, then I can't make you believe in them until they play a legit team. Same thing with Indiana. I think there's a lot of the same vibe on the Indiana-Oregon game that there is on Bama, Missouri. So the thing that I will say, if you're just watching the team, watching tape, whatever you want to call it, the fears that you normally have about Georgia, you actually should have about Missouri. You would think to yourself a couple of weeks ago, you're going into Athens, it's going to be a hostile crowd and all that. But really what you normally fear about Georgia is their ability to get after you up front defensively. But Georgia does not do that this year. And so Ty had time to throw, and he did exactly what Ty Simpson and that wide receiver corps should do against Georgia's secondary when given time to throw, and they had a lot of success. I will say Ty Simpson could have a ton of success Saturday against this Missouri secondary if he's given time to throw. The difference is they got better players in that front than Georgia does. They're more able to pressure the quarterback than Georgia was. Now, everyone, I picked Bama to win the national title, so I'm going to say we here. We've all appreciated and enjoyed this little period here of far fewer penalties, far fewer false starts, less pressure on the quarterback. That could all come undone really quickly if you lose your focus or if you just come up against really good players like Missouri has. And I think it's a big game script game too. If you're looking to be sold, if you hate Bama, you're looking to be sold that they could lose here. Well, picture it like this. Picture Missouri goes right down the field, or they bust a big run. Hardy bust a big run like Missouri did, or Vandy did on you last week, and they get an early lead, but it's at home. And then it's immediately 3rd and 11 for you, but instead of converting and moving the chains, it's them getting after you, and it's 4th and 16. You're punting, and they're already on the field again, and they start going on those time-consuming drives. And you get in the same spot you got in on the road against Florida State, where you're having to play catch-up. So you can't run a balanced offense. And all that progress Jam Miller's made and getting him back, that doesn't really matter as much. Don't think this game can't get into that territory. So the reason I say game script is because everything I just said is irrelevant if Bama goes and jumps up 13-14-0. And you make them a little more one-dimensional. And Bo Prabula, probably a little better with his legs than with his arm, although he's made some NFL throws this year, has to throw the ball to beat you. At that point, I feel comfortable in that kind of game for Alabama. So it's very much a how does this game start type thing for me.
Kirk Cignetti, 16-2 in his 18 games at Indiana. Finally wins the top 25. They wax Illinois earlier this year, but what he hasn't done, he hasn't beaten an elite, and he hasn't beaten an elite on the road. Now he has an opportunity. I think it's going to be tough sledding for him in Austin, but how do you think it plays out? Fernando Mendoza against Dante Moore, two really highly coveted quarterbacks, probably two guys. If we had a Heisman ceremony right now, both guys might be in New York.
I think people listening to you have probably watched Oregon. Lance, I don't think a lot of the country's watched Indiana so far this year. So they're hearing things, but they themselves haven't seen them. So they're hearing Fernando Mendoza may be the best quarterback in college football right now. I was doing stuff. I had Orlovsky this morning say that's the best quarterback from an NFL perspective in college football right now. Most people haven't watched him. Okay, regardless of what you think about that opinion, most people haven't watched him. So the way I would sell people on Indiana is you remember them last year. You remember they made the playoff. I think this version of them is a better version than that team last year. And they have a better quarterback last year. And the way I picture this game going is Oregon's going to get theirs. And there's no world where you go in there and you stuff Oregon or anything like that. So it's not that I don't think Oregon can do a lot of business against Indiana. I just think there's several scenarios where Indiana's sitting there trading points with them enough to keep themselves in the game. And it strikes me as the kind of game where Oregon kind of feels like they're in control, but they never pull away. And Indiana's just really pesky. And you find yourself watching it in the fourth quarter. And maybe Wednesday or Thursday, that spread of 7.5 didn't make sense to you. But then it's Saturday, time ticking away in the third quarter, early fourth quarter. It's a dogfight. And you're saying, wow, I was kind of wrong about this. Like maybe Oregon's not going to pull away from them. Maybe Indiana really can fight this for 4 quarters. I'm on one of those rare middle type grounds where I think Oregon wins, but Indiana covers anything over a touchdown. So I think it's going to be a 1-possession game.
By the way, I do feel like I'm sitting in the first row of the Church of Pate with the mirrors and the lighting behind you.
Yeah,
it does feel like it's a little stained glass, and I'm sitting here and you're preaching a little bit. I'm enjoying your sermon today. We left Athens with sort of the same feeling that Georgia just looks and feels different than they have in the past. Going to Jordan-Hare this weekend, there's a case to be made for Auburn winning this game. How does Auburn beat Georgia this weekend if they're able to do it?
Oh boy. So this is the one I have to see to believe. This is the one out of all these trap games and these wounded animal mode teams at home off a bye, kind of like Florida was last week. I've still got to see Auburn do this to believe it. I think Georgia's going to win the game down there. But if Auburn is to win, very simple. Georgia, again, cannot pressure the quarterback. Magically, Jackson Arnold has time to throw, doesn't hold the ball forever, and actually takes advantage of that skill he has out wide. Because, again, there's a big mismatch between Auburn's wide receiver core and this Georgia secondary. The thing that bites you in college football is when you can't take advantage of your mismatches, the other guy tends to really take advantage of his. And that's been kind of the story so far with Auburn this year. The thing that I fundamentally just have trouble seeing with them is I picked Florida to beat Texas last week, for example, because I thought there was a lot Florida was capable of. They just hadn't realized yet. And they realized it, to their credit, last week. I would love to come out of this bye week and say I feel similarly about Auburn. I'm having a lot of trouble finding something that I think they're fully capable of doing. They just haven't done yet. And Georgia's not some world beater version of themselves this year. So it's not that. It's not that I think that. Georgia's just a really good team. It's not elite. But they had 0 false starts on the road at Neyland. So I'm not counting on Jordan-Hare Stadium to just do the job here. Auburn's going to have to do the job as well. I'm not selling them totally down the river, but that's one where you can tell I'm struggling to make a case for it right now.
So, Pate, from 2008, 2011, Bobby Petrino, 34-17 as a head coach at Arkansas. Going back to 2011, won 8 of his last 9 games, including 4 top 15 wins. Now he gets his first opportunity as the interim coach in Knoxville. What do you expect for Bobby Petrino in this offense with Taylor Green moving forward now that he does have somewhat of an on-site audition for the rest of the year?
This is why it's good that I'm not an artist. Like, if I were Daniel Moore, I'd be really tempted. I'd be really tempted to just be doing Bobby Petrino prints right now. I mean, they would sell. I would move so much merchandise right now. I think that the biggest thing that flies in the face of conventional wisdom in college football is what actually happens with a team when a coach gets fired or when a quarterback gets hurt. Because both of those scenarios would make the casual fan think, oh, there goes the season. In reality, what happens is more often than not, it galvanizes a locker room. If you've got your backup quarterback in, everyone understands we got to shoulder more of the weight. And the aggregate is you perform a little bit better than expectation. Well, it's the same thing with new coaches. You've got the advantage of knowing what you're going to do. Other guy has no clue what you're going to do. You never know how many people in the locker room were a little disgruntled, and then the head coach is out, and then all of a sudden it galvanizes them. So, dude, I think Arkansas is probably going to go in there and play the most competitive game they played all year. And it's going to then lead to some really fun Monday conversations around this table, because it's going to sound a little something like this. The only question is, who's brave enough to present, is Bobby Petrino probably the answer for Arkansas? Could we have come full circle? Should we remove the interim tag? Whenever you guys do that, I'm happy to jump on and participate in that conversation, because that's really what I'm living for at this point with Arkansas.
Okay. I mean, according to Lance, that could be Monday. Are you free Monday? I know, is Monday a busy day for you? It's a pretty full day for us. I don't know if
I can make myself free. Okay. In those circumstances, I can be free for Bobby Monday.
Okay. All right. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We may have to circle back on this. I mean,
I'm comfortable calling it Bobby Monday.
Bobby Monday?
Yeah.
I mean, we've already got Jeremy Bernard. We've got Klatt. I mean, we can.
Let's ride.
I mean,
let's ride Monday.
That's right.
Just vroom, vroom, man.
What a show if we throw Josh Pate in there as well.
Motorcycle reference. I like
saw
it.
that, the vroom, vroom. I was thinking of a name for the Daniel Moore painting if it were Petrino, but I don't know if it makes sense. It's a funny name, but I don't know if it makes sense.
Throw it out there.
Riding Bitch.
Oh.
I mean, that's the phrase if you're riding on the back of the motorcycle, but he wasn't. So I don't know if it makes sense, but it is a great name, right? Am I wrong, Pate?
There are a lot of great ideas.
You can go riding dirty, too.
Riding dirty.
Yeah.
You go riding dirty, yeah.
Look, hey, if we want to go to the group text, I got 47 different names I can toss you guys. I just didn't know which ones we could present on air. I thought we may crowdsource this before we just went public with it. Someone's going to snatch the trademark.
Yeah,
you're going to lose millions of dollars on publicizing this.
Since it's a road win in Knoxville, Road Rash, I think is the way to
Road
go.
Rash.
Family friendly Road Rash.
Okay. All right. The Josh Pate College Football Show. It is on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you go follow that. Go subscribe to it and set your alerts at Josh Pate CFB on social media. And the Fall Don't Lie Tour visits Missouri, Alabama, Missouri, the early game on Saturday. Pate, safe travels. Thank you very much for the time. Always great talking with you.
Thank you, sirs. Appreciate it as always.
All right, buddy. We'll see you, Josh Pate, with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
And the show being brought to you by LT's Hair Guy. That's our friend Dr. B, who's celebrating another anniversary this week. And things are great for Dr. B right now and can be great for your hairline.
Yeah, absolutely. If you are starting to thin out, it really doesn't matter what that age is. It started to happen to me just a couple of years ago. I went to see Dr. Beckenstein and that great staff. I do the non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time. That is all I'm doing. My hair is more than doubled in thickness. 205-319-0316. There's a lot of people, men and women, ordering products online, don't even know if they work. Stop wasting money on time and critical time on things that aren't working for your hair loss. Find out what treatments will work. 205-319-0316, T3hair.net. T3's got that test. It's easy, painless, affordable, takes seconds to perform. It's going to show which medicines and compounds will specifically work for your hair loss. Again, 205-319-0316. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, T3hair.net.
And our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, 16 great locations around Alabama. They've been giving you 70 years now of urological care. Elite folks there, the best urologists that you can get. They don't do the weather. The best urologists you can get right there at Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920, 930-0920, urologycentersofalabama.com. Prostate health, early detection literally saves your life. Prostate health, the kidney stones, vasectomies, they handle it all for you there, and they've been doing it at an elite level for 70 years. Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com. Here's Bobby Petrino getting asked about his expectations of the kind of game you'll get between the Hogs and the Vols at Neyland Stadium again.
With the way these two defenses have played, do you expect another high-scoring game, and do you feel like the team's equipped for that?
Yeah, you never know on those. You know, I've went into a lot of games where you thought, oh, man, this is going to be a shootout, and it's at halftime 10-9. So you never know how that's going to play out. So we're certainly, though, I feel like we've got to go in and be able to move the ball and score points.
I don't know what to make of this. I felt like Lance early in the week. Yesterday on the show when Brandon Marcello pointed out, though, Lance, Arkansas's offensive performance in the second half of the Memphis game and then the entire Notre Dame game, that's not been 6 great quarters for them coming into this game.
No, I mean, look,
Petrino was calling all those plays.
Still are an offense averaging over 37 points per game. The fear for me, if I'm an Arkansas fan, is going against this Tennessee offense, which is number one in scoring offense, 51 points per game, going against the 110th scoring defense, giving up 30 points per game. Now, for whatever reason, if this is worth anything, Arkansas has beaten Tennessee 4 straight in this series, and they are 7-1 their last 8 against the spread against Tennessee.
I do not know how on earth Tennessee doesn't score a ton of points on Arkansas. I mean, that's the one thing that I feel confident about in this game.
Yeah, it could be the first one to 50 wins the game here, unless Tennessee gets better on defense. That's one of the many games we're watching this weekend. Our friends at Twin Peaks, a great place for you to go watch the game. That gets us to our 4 downs today, which Tyler has for us on the other side of the great chilling talk of Twin Peaks.
29-degree drafts. They've got them right now. And if you're looking for a lunch, you want to go grab a burger, sit at the bar, or you want to get one of those tables, watch Twin Peaks girls run around all over those locations. No one does happy hour like our friends at Twin Peaks. 4 college football games, divisional playoffs today, Major League Baseball. You can catch all the action right there. No one does happy hour like our friends at Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, they've got everything from the tequila cocktails, an extensive bourbon category, an adventurous drink menu, second to none. Don't forget again about those 29-degree drafts. It's all right there at Twin Peaks.
First down.
What is the best fair food, traditional fair food?
I am not a fan of funnel cakes. Now, I hate to start it with a negative, but a lot of people are big funnel cake fans. I am not. I do like kettle corn, though.
Oh, I love both of those.
Yeah,
I like funnel
kettle corn.
cakes. Love kettle corn.
Can I go corn dog?
Sure.
Yeah,
you get those at any
as
fair.
a kid, I cannot believe I like cotton candy. Cotton candy is one of the weirdest, most disgusting fiberglass-looking substances.
Yeah, not a fan of that either.
But as a kid, did you like it? Was
What, cotton candy?
Yeah.
I kind of did, but the juice is not worth the squeeze. You get your hands all dirty, it gets all over your face.
Yeah, I didn't like the stickiness, but corn dogs love kettle corn. The salty sweet of the kettle corn is so much better than popcorn for me.
I agree with you, Jim.
All right. You could have also gone off the beaten path with some of the stuff like Texas State Fair does.
Oh, easy now. Don't jump ahead in the script.
They
coming
do
up
like
in the
fried
next-
Oreos.
Yeah, don't jump ahead in the script. We got that coming up perhaps in the Shannara Spotlight.
Yeah, maybe in the next segment.
Maybe in the next segment.
Second down.
Yeah, caramel apples or caramel apples, however you say it. Love those as well.
Okay, do you like it on the stick where you bite it?
Yeah.
Or do you like an apple dipped in caramel? Because that's better for me.
But at the fair, you get them on the candy apple. I didn't love as much as the caramel.
Yeah, I'd leave my teeth in that.
Yeah, the caramel apple, sometimes you can bite it and it's just so
So it's
sticky.
chewy. But to your point, the way Jennifer does it for you on game days, the dipping is much better.
Yeah, the dipping is good, yes.
Second down, 16 years ago today, Couples Retreat, starring Vince Vaughn and Jason Bateman, was released.
Funny movie.
What's your favorite Vince Vaughn role?
Probably Swingers for me, just going back. I know a lot of people didn't like True Detective. I thought he showed a little range in season 2, though.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I didn't even watch that one.
Wedding Crashers.
Yeah, Wedding Crashers would be mine.
The sad movie with Jennifer Aniston that I jumped in because I thought it was going to be more of a comedy than it was very sad. Very sad.
Yeah, Wedding Crashers is hilarious. Do you like that one?
I love Wedding Crashers. I finally saw Couples Retreat. I hadn't seen it until this year. It came out 15 years ago.
16, yep. Wow. Came out in 2009.
Yeah.
Really
Third
good funny moments there, and uncomfortable the younger girl and the guy who they keep mistaken for the daughter. Yeah, hilarious.
Third down.
Roofman opens today. How long do you think you could live in a store or a mall?
Oh, not long.
And hide out.
I like.
You talk about before you get thrown out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not long. Not long. I might throw myself out before I actually get thrown out.
Yeah.
I like my creature comforts too much. I don't want to have to live where I don't know where my next meal necessarily is coming from. I don't have the comfort of my couch or my bed. I don't have the TV. I can't live like that.
I saw the trailer for it again, and all I could think about was, what year did this really take place?
I'm not sure.
But it's based on a true story. Like, you couldn't do it now because of all the internal security surveillance. It would be impossible. So I don't know anybody that could really get away with this right now.
But I would limit myself just because of my creature comforts that I like. I couldn't live in that situation.
No.
Yeah. What was the question again?
How long could you last, like, living out in a mall or a store? Like if there was a contest where you had to go secret mall apartment style, avoid the security.
I lived on a billboard for 5 days.
Okay.
And that was pretty hard. It was outside and cold and high up in the air, 82 feet. I could do it a while. But I wouldn't choose to do it, no. But I could do it for a while. I saw a social media question last night. If you've got $100,000, can't remember if it was a day or a week, to not shower, how long could you go without a shower? If you were getting paid $100,000 a week, we'll say, how long could you go without a shower?
I normally, in a normal situation, can't make it to noon without one. Like, if I don't have a shower before lunch, I feel
Yeah, I remember the last time I had to go 5 days without a shower.
When was that?
It was in the summer of 1991.
Why did you have to go 5 days without a shower? Y'all didn't pay the water bill?
No, it was stupid fraternity stuff where you have Hell Week and you have to show up at the house, and so you're not allowed to do anything for the entire week.
How bad did you stink?
Oh my gosh, it was awful. So when I see things like 5 Days at Memorial, like these different shows on where everybody's trapped in a hospital for 5 days under those circumstances with heat, no AC, that kind of stuff. Can't even imagine the Superdome. Back to my Katrina fascination right now. But yeah, I smelled really, 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 really bad.
Did you at least brush your teeth? Did they let you brush your teeth?
Oh yeah, you can brush teeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I can't stand that either.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be around anybody, right? But I mean, if it was $100,000, I'd take it as deep as I could take it.
Yeah. I mean, could you do a year?
No.
If it's $100,000 a week, yeah, I could.
Dude, no, not shower for a year.
I feel like you'll end up with some kind of health issue by going a year without showering.
Well, can I do the
Here's Lance.
the third world country shower? No, with like a bar of soap.
Yeah, in the lake.
No, I don't think there'd be any bathing at all. Yeah.
Oh, your hair would be all matted.
I can't
don't have to worry about
imagine.
that. But
no, I just take it. I'd push it 10 weeks. I'd get my $1 million
and go home.
Yeah,
go home and shower for an hour.
Smell like a zoo.
Yeah, but at that point, you're gone 10 weeks, and after taxes, you've only walked away.
I'm not paying taxes on this one. I've earned it. If I ain't watching my ass for 10 weeks,
pay taxes.
Yeah, cold hard cash. Yeah, unmarked bills, please.
For the billboard, did you do anything to make sure you stayed up there while you were asleep?
Yeah, I was harnessed in.
Okay.
So it was OSHA approved. I couldn't have any air conditioning. I wish I could.
I'm shocked you did that. There is not a chance in hell that I might go up there if I had the safety measurements for a couple of hours, but to do it for days.
This was the mid-90s, so I don't have good pictures. I wish I could go back to NBC 13 and get some of the video from when I was up there, because at this point now I don't think people believe I did it. And truthfully, I couldn't do it now. Anxiety is so high because I couldn't climb up the ladder. Alabama Power put me up there in a big. They only had one truck in the whole state high enough to get up there, and they put me up there, and I couldn't come down even if I got scared until Thursday, because that was the next time the truck was going to be back in Birmingham. I remember it was UAB hosting Indiana, Bob Knight's Indiana team at the Civic Center on a Thursday night when I came down. But it was scary, and it was cold, and it was frightening. Didn't shower for 5 days. Didn't poop for 5 days.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, you were Elvis, basically.
Yeah, it was.
That's worse than not showering.
Yeah.
What was the charity? Was it
Children's
Hospital?
Children's Hospital, because cystic fibrosis, the young patients have to do 5 days. Back then, they had to do 5. I don't know what it is now. Had to do 5 days of treatment, which basically they had to stop their lives. There was a young girl who was a freshman at Alabama. She'd have to leave and come to Children's for 5 days and have to put her life on hold. And that's how I got into the fundraising aspect of that. So we raised tens of thousands of dollars those 5 days for Children's Hospital. But so that was why we came up with 5 days. But in true Jim fashion, I was going to the Auburn, Georgia game. The plan was 5 days on a billboard, one of those portable ones, inside the Galleria in the food court was my plan.
Right.
I was going to sit in the food court 2 feet off the ground on that billboard and live in a closed environment and just wave at people, eat Chick-fil-A and
Cinnamons.
all day
so
long.
I know some people pay to jump out of planes, but if I said, look, you can go 1 month without a shower and I'll give you $500,000, or you can one jump for $500,000.
One jump.
Yeah, I'll do the jump.
Am I tandem with somebody?
No.
Do I get trained? No. Or it's like, I got to figure this.
Well, they're going to hand you the shoot pull.
Say, good luck.
Couldn't do it.
I'll watch a YouTube video.
So what happened? So you were going to stay in the Galleria and that got blown up?
While I was at the Auburn, Georgia game, again, we didn't have cell phones. When I got back to the station, they could not get the live shot to work.
From the Galleria?
Yeah. It would need a permanent setup.
Right.
And they couldn't get it to work. So in the process, they made the decision that I was going to be on an 82-foot billboard downtown, right next to where Craneworks is. It's that billboard right next to Craneworks.
Back before liability was a thing.
Yeah. No, I had to sign my life away.
Wow. That is true gym fashion right there. You're right about that.
I went from my plan being in the comforts of the Galleria, 2 feet off the ground, to 82 feet in the air.
Outside.
Yeah, you were planning on just doing laps and getting as much chicken teriyaki as you wanted.
With James Spann saying as I was coming back from Auburn, Georgia, hey, the coldest night of the season happens on Sunday night. The low temperature with the windshield is going to be 18 degrees. And I was like,
But how about Tony Curry did it for 3 weeks?
Yeah, he did.
Were you scoffing at what
no,
he did?
I think Dunaway's got some inside info on that one.
Yeah, all I'm saying is I was up there for 5 days.
Wait, no, tell us. I mean, was it not 3 weeks?
He was on the roof for 3 weeks. Yeah, I don't know if he was continuously on the roof for 3 weeks.
Tony might have come down for jitterbugs Wednesday.
He may have come down to poop, shower,
go ahead,
and go back up.
Yeah.
But he did a show up there for 5 weeks.
Okay. All right.
4th down.
The final question. John Lennon would have turned 85 today. Who do you think is the most influential musician of all time? Or will be, if you want to, bet that T Swift is going to surpass John Lennon.
She's among them. There's no doubt.
I don't know about influential. I mean, she's changed the business side of it forever.
I just think influential based on how many people she's reached. It would be hard not to call her influential.
Yeah, I mean, Paul McCartney would be up there.
I mean, people say this about Bob Dylan, right?
I think they kind of hedge it by calling him the most influential songwriter.
Well, he can't sing to save his life.
Michael Jackson was one of those guys.
Certainly was.
Saw him dancing for chicken the other night.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to go back and say Beethoven. I mean, we still talk about his music, and he was alive in, the 1700s?
I think that's about right.
Yeah.
I mean, people still reference, Tupac and Christopher Wallace, a.k.a. Biggie. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'd go Leonard over McCartney for the Beatles. If I had to choose a Beatle that was influential. Dylan, because he was writing peace songs during a time of distress in our country.
I mean, it's such a small niche, but Bob Marley was obviously a big...
Marley popped to my mind. I was afraid to say it, but, I mean,
there are no wrong answers.
It was a whole genre.
Yeah. It was a whole genre that is Bob Marley. And then he also was writing freedom songs for his people. But when you go just technical guitar licks, Jimi Hendrix, and some others. I guess Elvis was a groundbreaker, so to speak.
Yeah, certainly.
He was influential.
A lot of Bob Dylan in the chat, by the way. A lot of people say Bob Dylan.
Doja Cat?
Doja the Cat, no doubt.
Is Doja Cat in there?
I mean, your great points on the 90s rappers. Even before that, I think a lot of people will go back to the Carter family in the mountains of the Smoky Mountains.
Well, Bill Monroe is the father of bluegrass, right, from Kentucky. And even though bluegrass might not be mainstream, a lot of what you hear in country branched off from that. So I think he would get a lot of credit.
Yeah, so that's the crazy thing about music is I think you can go 1,000 different ways there.
Yeah, I would agree. That's a good question. I like that one.
Yeah, and that's 4 downs. Today brought to you in part by our friends at Central State Bank. We'll get to our Thursday tradition coming up on the other side. Tell us about Central State Bank.
Well, Central State Bank is a bank that is big enough to meet every single need you have, but small enough to also know you. They've been doing it for more than 100 years, building trust by staying true to what matters. Personal service, local decisions, lasting relationships. Proud to be large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Rooted in community, driven by relationships. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shannara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Back with you on the Next Round. Don't forget, you can always get the new edition of The Last Call on our YouTube channel and all of our platforms. Just set and the alerts and subscribe there. Same place you get the Next Round. That's Mick Gillespie, Jake Coker, and their great work there, The Last Call. And they do post-game as well after the Alabama games.
Yes.
All of them?
Yes. I don't know if all of them do it or not. I know Coker does it, and I think there's a variety of people that Mick does it. There's a variety of people that jump on, but they'll be doing post-game right here after Alabama, Missouri, so roughly 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, so you can get that on this platform coming up on Saturday as well. And don't forget Talladega is coming back. Brownie, tell us about the Talladega Super Speedway and your chance to get tickets.
877-GO-TO-DEGA. That is the number you can call. You can go to TalladegaSuperspeedway.com and reserve your spot to see the best racing there is in NASCAR. The Yellowwood 500 coming next weekend to Talladega Super Speedway, and you can be part of it. You can reserve your spot in the grandstand, in the infield, and the camping area. You can reserve your spot at the concert, which is Whiskey Myers on Saturday. You can reserve your spot in the Garage Experience presented by Cool Ray. All of that by going to TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Cut 13, Tyler, if you can give that to me first here. Brooks just sent this out. You can get it at Next Round Live. If things go correctly this weekend, if Alabama beats Missouri, and Indiana beats Oregon, then Alabama has the nation's longest active win streak at home. Active home win streak.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Again, hate to be redundant, but I think a lot of these streaks are going to start being smaller and smaller, and you're just not going to see, because, I mean, the longest active win streak in college football is Memphis right now, right?
Memphis has 10 wins in a row, Ohio State 9, Missouri and Navy with 8. So Alabama, trying to knock some stuff down. There's the active home win streak going on.
Hey, Jim, I did want to point out, too, Oregon's last home loss was to Kalen DeBoer.
At Washington. Oh, that's
Full
really good.
circle.
Yeah. Thank you. I see that now in the small.
I did not think Ohio would be on this graph.
Yeah, what have they been doing?
Yeah, a Arch Manning-less Sark Texas team the last time Alabama.
Correct.
Yeah, back before Arch Manning drugged that program all the way down. Interesting. I mean, there's Kurt Sig there with 12 wins in a row at home, and they got Illinois early. But there is a chance, a path to Alabama have the longest active home winning streak. They ended Georgia's streak earlier this year in 2 games. One of those would be Indiana upsetting Oregon in Eugene, where the nation's active home winning streak is the longest right now. Kirk Cignetti on if Indiana is still behind the 8 ball when it comes to elite players on the roster. They seem to get the reputation of doing more with less in Bloomington. Coach Sig, how close are you now in roster size as far as quality on quality against Oregon?
You had mentioned after the playoff loss last year that what separated y'all from those elite teams on the road was they're just a little bit stronger, had a little bit more size. Do you feel like y'all have, trimmed that margin at all, roster-wise?
Well, we're not as big as Oregon. I mean, they can roll 4 inside guys at D tackle or 330 plus. I mean, they got big people in there. I guess we're going to find out this week.
When you mentioned maybe not being quite as big up front as Oregon is, how do you kind of combat that going into the game on Saturday?
Well, you put together the best plan for your team that you think gives you the best chance to be successful. But I have confidence in our team, right? They are big. They are athletic. They are a very good football team. We're a good football team.
Yeah, very close to the vest there. His quarterback, by the way, Fernando Mendoza, in our Bojangles list of the day. Fernando Mendoza is ranked as the 5th best quarterback right now in college football, according to CBS Sports. Dante Moore is currently 6th. Who's number 1, according to CBS Sports?
I will say that they are going to go either Trinidad Chambliss or Ty Simpson. I'm going to say they go Ty Simpson.
Trinidad Chambliss is 3rd, just ahead of Haynes King, who's 4th.
That's wrong.
Number 2 on the list, Julian Sayin, who, by the way, is completing 80% of his passes. Number 1 on the list, Ty Simpson of Alabama, best quarterback in college football right now.
I had multiple people send me a graph that there was a mock draft and they had Ty Simpson going 24th overall to the Rams.
Oh. The
thing that bothered me about that is that means the Rams losing the wild card or the divisional round.
It was where they were picking, not who they picked.
But people asked, would you – and I'm one of those that there are certain coaches, whoever their quarterback is, they're going to make it work. And I think what you've seen from Ty – is that guy can, at least right now, looks like he can make all the throws. He's just mobile enough, probably a lot more athletic than we give him credit for. I think, it's going to be fascinating to see who the number 1. I took a flyer on Fernando Mendoza being the number 1 guy taken in the NFL draft, but Dante Moore could be that guy. I mean, Ty Simpson could play his way into a conversation.
Yeah. Just the last 2 games, Georgia and Vandy, to your point, some of the throws he's dropped in between the numbers and the sideline have been unbelievable touch throws from Ty Simpson, dropping it in the bucket. So it's Ty Simpson, Julian Sayin, Trinidad Chambliss, Haynes King, who you say is too high. But, I mean, for what he does, this isn't like an NFL draft. For what he does for his team at Georgia Tech, he's pretty darn important.
Yeah, look, and I think he's got now 39 touchdowns with his legs, and they're undefeated. So, they shouldn't have beaten Wake Forest, but they did, and they're a factor right now. And, look, we've seen him against elite teams. We saw how well he played against Georgia. So he is a really good college quarterback. I'm just saying that, if I'm listing 5 guys right now, I'm not putting Haynes King in that, but he is really good.
Mendoza 5 more, Dante Moore in that matchup is 6. Josh Hoover, Sawyer Robertson, Luke Altmaier, and Brendan Sorsby, the top 10 there from CBSSports.com. That's your Bojangles list of the day.
Yeah, Bojangles can be your destination for that high school or college football tailgate, that watch party for college football when your team is out of town. You can get it right there at Bojangles. Those great crispy chicken tenders, hand-breaded. Those wonderful dipping sauces that go with it, they are right there at Bojangles. And don't forget, on the way to school tomorrow, take the kids to school, you're on the way to work. How about that pork chop griller? It is back for a limited time at Bojangles. It is that great piece of pork chop right there in the center of those wonderful Bojangles biscuits. You can get yours right now for a limited time at your local Bojangles. Make it bow time.
Hey, by the way, in the availability report for that Georgia-Auburn game, you'll notice that they've got some O-line issues. If you watched the game last week, they had some O-line injuries. So they're without Tolliver on the offensive line. He's already listed as out. And you have a couple of other O-linemen that are running as questionable going into this Auburn game this weekend. Auburn is healthy other than the two players who have been out a while now, so that includes Horatio Fields out for Auburn. But the questionable and one out offensive lineman becomes a big factor in this game for the Georgia Bulldogs. Their ability to sustain the run and protect Gunnar Stockton, that could be another factor leaning Auburn's direction.
Well, look, at this Auburn defense, to me, has been, I guess the question one of you guys posed yesterday is, when does the defense finally give up on this offense?
Well, that's the narrative that always happens when you have a struggling offense and a dominant defense, is they just give up at some point. I don't know if that's just a narrative or if it's true.
Yeah, look, they're only allowing 2.6 yards per rush right now, which is second best in the SEC, only behind Oklahoma. And when you've got those problems up front, not only do you worry about Gunnar Stockton being protected, but with Bowens and Frazier, can you run the football consistently?
Yeah. I mean, I was just going to say real quick, the line of scrimmage is where we question Georgia the most right now, isn't it?
It
is.
On
both sides.
Yeah,
on both sides.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they
which
look
is
totally,
weird for them.
They look more different on defense than they do on the offensive side, but Alabama got after them pretty good. And early on, Kentucky had some success against that offensive line. Cut 5 if you can, Tyler, if you can give me cut number 5. Ryan Grubb on cut 5 here. If you've been paying attention to Alabama, it's not coin toss yet on field goal attempts, but you don't feel really comfortable all the time when Alabama's running Talty out to kick a field goal. Here's Ryan Grubb. As Alabama gets ready for this big one on the road at Missouri, if the inconsistency, the word I'll use, at kicking field goals, especially from distance, is starting to impact the way they approach some play calling in that high red zone or even further out closer to midfield. Here's Ryan Grubb.
The kicking game has been 2 of 5 on field goals of 40 yards or more. So kind of as an offensive coordinator, how does that affect your strategy when y'all are on that side of the field and maybe on 3rd and 4th down?
Score more touchdowns, yeah, for sure. It was disappointing, to be honest. I thought our red zone execution was poor, something we got to work at a lot. We can't put ourselves in those positions to count on another part of the football team to take care of our business. So for us, we still got to follow the script and understand we can't press in those moments. But certainly, our opportunities there, we had done a really nice job the previous 2 weeks down the red zone. And so to see ourselves take a step back like that was discouraging. So we're going to put a lot of effort into that and execute a lot better down there this week.
Yeah, really good in the red zone until this past week.
And I like that question because I do think that if you are Kalen DeBoer and you're Ryan Grubb, that's got to be in the back of your mind. The worst kick I have seen the entire year was Talty's kick against Georgia. Was absolutely awful in the days of Will Reichert, although he missed one in London on Sunday. He was automatic. I mean, he just was, and you just don't have that right now.
What led to Alabama's only turnover of the year so far, I think, was a lack of faith in the kicking game. I mean, that ball's on the 29, and it's your first possession of the game. I mean, a lot of times in that situation, you're like, hey, let's just take some points here early and let's see how this game plays out.
What does that end up being, a 46-yard kick?
I mean, that's a long kick.
46, 47,
That's a long kick, but to my point, with Reichert, you would not have thought twice. Yeah. You run him right out there for that.
And expect to make it up 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
18 out of 20.
But I don't think they thought twice about going for it on 4th and 1 right there.
But the point I thought Lance would make here, and I'll give him a chance to comment on this, that sort of is Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb, though. They like being aggressive anyway. They don't mind going for it on 4th down.
No, you go back to the Washington days, 4th and 3, 4th and 4, they were going for it.
Yeah, if they were under 4th and 5, they seem to like it.
Yeah, and I mean, you start to play the percentages in today's college football when you've got a quarterback playing at the level of Ty Simpson, a guy that completes 70% of his passes. I mean, the run game does make it really one-dimensional in those situations because you don't think you're going to run the football there.
Yeah, but then to circle back, I mean, I'd have to look it up real quick to see how long the kick was. But the kick that put Alabama up 9 that's a pretty big kick. I mean, you're up 6 right there. You are one busted play away from being behind in this game. So to make it 9, to make it 2 possessions, that was a pressure-packed kick. I want to say that was 40-something yards. Am I wrong about that?
For some reason, 39 popped to mind for me, but maybe it was 40-something. I don't know.
It was. Oh God, it was only 30. My bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was longer than that. It was only 30.
Yeah. But still pressure packed. Got to get in between the uprights.
If I can't hit a 30-yarder.
Before we do the spotlight, tell us about Company Distilling LT, a chance to enjoy as these fall temperatures. It's a great fire pit drink, Company Distilling.
Yeah, I had a conversation with some of the folks at Company Distilling yesterday, and we are putting together what is going to be a really, really cool tasting for a lot of our viewers and listeners that are big bourbon fans. And if you are a big bourbon fan and you like to try different products out there, Company Distilling is now in Alabama. It's also in Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. If you walk into a store, they don't have it, tell them to get it. Tell them to put it on that shelf. The man behind the bottle, Jeff Arnett, the master distiller at Company Distilling, the former master distiller of Jack Daniels. Fantastic product. To learn more, you can go to companydistilling.com/Alabama. Must be 21 or older. Please enjoy responsibly. And I do have our location next week for Tuscaloosa if we want to go on and pre-promote that.
Sure, go ahead before we hit the spotlight.
Yeah, 11 to 2, we're going to be at the Rabbit Hole.
All right.
Yeah, so we're back at the Rabbit Hole. If
outside.
You saw us last year down there.
Good weather.
We hope so. We hope the weather will be good. I assume it will be a little nip in the air, a little fall weather, getting ready for Alabama, Tennessee.
Oh, I think it's in the high 80s all week next week.
And we're at Sky Bar tomorrow.
Yep.
We're 11 to 2 down in Auburn. So if you're in the area, come by and see us. But 11 to 2 is the showtime tomorrow at the Sky Bar. Now hit the spotlight, if you will. Boom.
The College Football Spotlight.
The Shannara Spotlight presented by our guy, Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shannara.com. Shannara.com. That's the website you go to for Alexander Shannara when you're in need of an attorney. Alexander Shannara has recovered more than $2 billion for his clients by focusing on some core values: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shannara.com. Shannara.com. This segment on Thursdays focuses entirely on good food. The Red River Shootout is known not only for an exciting football game most of the time, but for being played right in the middle of the Texas State Fair. In case you've never been to the Cotton Bowl, it looks older than Legion Field, the Cotton Bowl does.
It does.
But it is played, it is built right in the middle of the state fairgrounds of the state of Texas. So this game each year happens right in the middle of that, so you find some really cool food. I am going to highlight a few dishes here from the Texas State Fair. We will start, and Scott will show you the photos of these, Cajun stuffed seashells. This is jumbo pasta shells, cooked al dente, a Crescent City combination of shrimp and andouille sausage, secret rice, rice cheese, and cornbread stuffing in the shells. They are served with Cajun Alfredo sauce for dipping.
All in.
Sounds delicious.
Okay. We next will go with a deep-fried carbonara. Cheesy spaghetti carbonara, breaded and deep-fried until golden brown and delicious. Bacon's Italian cousin meets Petrino Romano DOP, rich egg yolks, authentic pasta, and piping hot pot of crave-worthy Texas Italian deliciousness. Deep-fried carbonara.
What happens if their fryer goes out at the fairgrounds?
You starve to death.
I think you go right to the next one because there's one in every tent. Hey, can we borrow yours?
Yes. Y'all on board with that one?
Oh, God, yes.
All right.
That was better than the first one.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I
2
like
for
it.
2.
El Cono Loco. El Cono Loco, a creamy Tex-Mex chicken spaghetti packed with hatch green chilies, queso, shredded Monterey Jack tucked inside a fresh baked garlic Parmesan bread cone.
I think the cone is going to throw it off.
Yeah, no for me on the messiness.
Okay, that's going to be messy.
If I had it on a plate, maybe.
I don't know how that cone's going to work. Seems like it'd be a little
It
thick,
could be
too.
tricky. I don't disagree with you. It could be tricky. I like that.
These cone sort of lasagnas and cone everything, it's gotten out of hand.
Yeah, it's just
Tyler,
like
not a
it used
fan.
to be the on-the-stick things.
Yeah.
Remember, everything was on a stick?
Yep. Fried pickle bombs. It's a pickle concoction that has fried pickles laid on top of a bed of crispy dillies and drizzled with spicy ranch. Bold, satisfying punch, it says here.
So I am a pickle fan, but like fried pickles is not. I'll eat them, but it's not something I go to typically.
Okay.
I enjoy them, but I don't eat them a ton. No.
All right. Guacarons. This dish is a delightful balance of textures and flavors that will enhance your culinary experience. It is tender, flavorful, deep-fried pork belly paired with a generous serving of fresh guacamole. So basically pork belly, deep-fried with guacamole to dip it in.
Yeah, I like pork belly.
Yep,
I'm in on all that. It shuts me down, though. Like, there is something, and I'm not talking about through a screen door, like Montezuma's Revenge. There is something internally with me with the pork belly. I had one for brunch this past Sunday, and I felt like absolute shit for like 4 or 5 hours.
I love pork belly.
I do, too.
How about the Meat Lovers Crunchwrap Calzone? Would you like this? Flavor packed, it says here. Deep fried Italian style creation. A fluffy flour tortilla loaded with shredded mozzarella, spicy, diced pepperoni and salami, seasoned ground beef topped with a bold, zesty red sauce full of Italian herbs, folded and fried to golden perfection.
Looks like a fried Frisbee heart attack.
Yeah.
I would definitely give it a shot, though.
That's been the least favorite one so far because I'm familiar with calzones. I get those anywhere.
Oh.
I haven't had a calzone in forever.
I think this next one might be potentially my favorite. It's the Oxalent Cornbread Sliders, all right? Oxalent Cornbread Sliders. Savory beef oxtails, slowly simmered for hours until rich, juicy, and fall off the bone tender. Piled high onto Southern Charm cornbread layered with smoky collard green slaw, melted smoked Gouda, and spicy mayo for just the right kick. That sounds incredible.
Yeah, you would have moved forward in Hell's Kitchen if that was your signature dish.
Yeah, that is good. The cornbread makes it sound interesting. Is that your last one?
One more.
Okay.
Russo's Bacon Jam Wagyu Sliders. Juicy melt-in-your-mouth Wagyu beef topped with sweet and smoky bacon jam stacked high on a golden bun.
All in.
Yeah. I love bacon jam, too. This is not a new one, but it's always the favorite one. It won awards so many years. They keep it around. Deep-fried Thanksgiving dinner. It's been there since 2013, where basically you have all your Thanksgiving dinner dishes rolled in, battered and deep fried, like the turkey, the stuffing, the corn.
Say less.
Yeah,
Man,
sweet potatoes.
I hate to bring this up, but we were putting a promotion together, and we were talking about Thanksgiving, doing it around there. And, fellas, we're only like 5 weeks away from Thanksgiving. 4 weeks. No, 5 weeks.
Rivalry.
No,
it can't be right. We're just starting October.
It's 7 weeks.
Okay, 7 weeks.
That's pretty close.
It's close.
Right?
Yeah, we're almost to Rivalry Saturday.
Yeah,
That's what Lance is saying.
Yeah.
By the way, there is a superstar of the State Fair foods, according to AI, who came up with the deep fried Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
He also came up with the fried Coke and the world famous fried jambalaya, the fried butter and all that. His name is Abel Gonzalez, known to the deep fryers at the State Fair as Fried Jesus. That's his nickname.
Is he a big dude?
Fried Jesus. I don't know what he looks like.
I would imagine
I don't have
he's
a picture.
a big guy.
Just his name there. Creator Abel Gonzalez, better known as Fried Jesus. That is our Spotlight today, brought to you by Alexander Shannara. Before we get to the top of the hour, our friends at Inverness Country Club remind you that a good time is just one phone call away.
Yeah, they've got memberships that fit everyone, whether you're a golfer, you love to play the tennis and the pickleball, or you just want to get that pool membership for next summer. There is something for everyone. Childcare, also a big plus. You and your day want a day of golf or tennis, guess what? You can drop the kid. Go have yourself a day on the court or course, dinner with friends, knowing your kid is safe on site. Massive plus. Maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kid? Best days happen at Inverness. Maybe you relocated to retired. It's a great place to network. Call Aaron today. Schedule a tour of this unbelievable club. 205-991-8608. That's 205-991-8608 or online, iccalabama.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt, can't work, don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the next round anywhere with NextRound.store. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
A look ahead to what's coming up on college football tonight, brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the gang down there just off of Highway 119 for over a decade in his beautiful, comfortable building he's got there. Great atmosphere for a dine-in lunch or dinner or easy-to-go tailgate food that you can get right there at champyschicken.com. Brined chicken overnights. Brined overnight is cooked to order, piping hot and juicy all the way down to the bone. The hand-cut chicken fingers and the in-house made sides. And don't forget those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. It is so delicious at Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com. Quadruple header tonight of college football. La Tech and Kennesaw State, 6 o'clock on ESPNU to start us off. playoff implications on the line for East Carolina and Tulane, 6:30 Tulane at home. If they, for some reason, lost this game, that would pretty much eliminate them from the playoff contention. Southern Miss and Georgia Southern tonight down there in Statesboro. And then Jack State, local team, and Sam Houston State tonight, 7 o'clock, CBS Sports Network. You sort of feel, Brownie, this is a tough one for the Gamecocks.
I just felt like, when I was looking at upset alert, it's a lot to ask of Jacksonville State. I think they're laying 8.5. Last time I saw this, Lance, on the road. That's a lot of points for Jack State to be laying on the road to me.
Okay, well, they have not had a game within 8.5. The Bearcats. Yeah. I mean, the Bearcats are awful. I can't over-exaggerate that. They've had somewhat of a difficult schedule because they played UNLV and Texas early, but New Mexico State beat them by 27. Hawaii ran them off the field by 17, and Western Kentucky beat them by 17.
In college football coming up this weekend, we talked about Eli Drinkwitz in Missouri being 26-5 since the start of 2023. But each of the games Alabama's played with Missouri, Alabama's won by 19 points or more. So is there a little bit of do you think this game has caught Alabama fans' attention? Like, it felt like Alabama fans were bought in last week against Vandy.
Yeah.
Do you feel like they are almost assuming this is a dub on the road to Missouri because they always beat Missouri badly?
I just real quick, I thought this was so well put. Our building superintendent, guy named Clarence, great guy that works here in the building, big Alabama fan. And anytime any of us go to the restroom, we talk Alabama sports with them, right? Big basketball guy, but loves football as well. And Clarence put it best. I was like, how you feeling Saturday? He goes, man, Missouri plays wild. I was like, I haven't heard him described that way. He goes, Missouri plays wild, man. And he's a little bit concerned about it, so I think it's got his attention.
I think what's interesting, we go back last week, and I think we were saying the more difficult game will be Missouri than Vanderbilt. Now, Vanderbilt they had their hands full, and they ended up, busting one late to make it look a little different, the final score. It's weird because I think Alabama fans are concerned, but I think Alabama fans also think this team can win the national championship. So I think it's a little complicated, but what I would say is, again, you can lose this game, still win out, and you're completely fine.
I think Alabama fans are cautiously optimistic about this game based on the fact that Missouri is so untested. I think they feel like all the stuff that you fear about Missouri, those numbers are run up against a crap schedule. And again, we talked about this yesterday on the show. I think objectively, I don't even think it's really subjective. Objectively, you've got to say Missouri's the least tested team in the SEC. They haven't really played a quality opponent.
No, I would agree with that. And, some people built last week as a trap game, coming off the road win at Georgia before going on the road to play Missouri, that looked like a trap game, Vandy. But with all the talking, and Vandy may have talked more than any Alabama opponent ever leading into that game, Diego Pavia included, this almost feels like the potential trap game because Diego and them had talked so much and beat them last year. Tennessee prime time under the lights, rivalry game next week. This one at 11 o'clock almost feels like the trap game for Alabama.
Yeah, and we talked about Eli Drinkwitz and what was his biggest win, and it is Ohio State, and Brown scoffed at that because
they had a guy wearing 22 playing quarterback.
He did, and that was a bowl game. But this, by far, would be one of the top 3 or 4 wins in the entire program's history, and by far Eli Drinkwitz, his biggest win, and this would propel them, as a top 6-7 team in college football.
All right, our buddy Greg from Pell City in the chat room. Greg was asked a tremendous question earlier by someone in the chat room. If Hugh Freeze was a roof, would you replace him? That was the question Greg was asked. That's a good one.
That is a great question.
Greg says, and Lance, I've heard you say this too, Bama is catching a huge break that this game's at 11. And I've heard a lot of people say that. I don't even think that the break is that you're getting a less juiced crowd because I just don't know how juiced a Missouri crowd would have to be to impact the game.
That's what I've said all week. I agree.
Yeah, I think you're catching the break in. Coaches don't like playing night road games because you get stuck at the hotel all day. And you're having to fill time. You're having to do more meetings. You're having to do walkthroughs. You're having to get guys up and out of bed, get them moving. You talk to any football coach in America, the earlier the road game, the better for them.
Yeah.
So I don't think the coaches mind at all that this is an 11 o'clock game if they're Alabama. And I do think if you're Drinkwitz, you'd rather it be at night to have any advantage possible.
Yeah, I think drink sleepy atmosphere. It's advantage to the lesser athletic team, and I think that's Missouri. I'd rather this game, if I was Alabama, be 2:30, even 6:30. I'd be okay with the high.
I mean, you guys can gloss over this, but if you're looking at best home records over the last 3 years, Missouri is. They might have the best.
But I don't think it's got anything to do
with we showed. They're tied for third.
I don't think it's got anything to do with the crowd, though, Lance. I mean, a home record can be. There are a lot of factors. I don't think the crowd is the factor, though. That place. Come on, man.
Well, I mean, what do you think it is?
Well, I think you've got a level of comfort. Some of it could be opponent based. I'd have to go look at who the opponents are
and the way the schedule's falling.
Yeah, the way the schedule is falling. I mean, I think there are a lot of
five
factors.
of those this year.
Yeah, but you can't look at Faurot Field in Columbia, Missouri, and say that is an intimidating place to go when you're talking about other SEC venues in the same sentence.
Our man Dan Orlovsky last night got on TikTok asked a question about, man, how come South Carolina always gets this tough schedule? He started, and I went to the comment because I wanted to see how many people in a row, and I stopped counting at 7, said, because it's the SEC, bro. Because it's the SEC.
Everybody gets them tough.
Everybody's got 7 ranked games in a row, bro.
Yeah, it's like the mini NFL, Orlovsky. I mean, the SEC's the mini NFL, right? That's the way we view it here.
Yes. But I don't know. It feels like every year I look at South Carolina, I'm like, God bless. They're playing like the 7 of the top 10 ranked teams week after week. I don't know. Maybe I'm naive to it, but I don't feel like everybody in the SEC has that experience.
I did, and Dan Orlovsky joins us each week on the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys Hotline. He does so presented by MyBookie. Code NEXTROUND when you go to mybookie.ag. Get that great bonus right there from mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. Code NEXTROUND for that $500 bet back bonus. So Josh Pate was on with us earlier. I don't want to misquote Josh, who maybe even...
He's great.
Oh, yeah, Pate's awesome.
Fantastic.
Pate's been coming on with us forever. I think he said that when he was doing his hit with you on ESPN today, you said that Mendoza is the most pro-ready quarterback in college football. Is that a misquote of you?
I didn't use pro-ready. I don't use pro-ready. I said he's the guy that, like right now playing, looks most likely to be a first-round pick.
Okay. Well, that's all right. I wanted to make sure I got it right. I don't know how much you've watched Ty Simpson. I just wanted to ask you because Lance was talking about seeing a mock draft that had Ty Simpson as a first rounder. The dude's
heading that way.
Made 5 starts, so you see that potential in him as well.
Oh, no doubt. Ty Simpson is a guy that is probably most realistically having the best chance to play himself into being a first-round pick. I think the reality with Ty is no one knows much about him, certainly not going into this year. Didn't know a ton about him. I don't know if people knew he was a third-year kid, fifth-year kid, redshirt freshman. People just didn't know enough or much about him. But as far as throwing it, there's no question that he's playing himself. If he continues to play this way, he'll be a first-round pick. If Ty Simpson plays the next 7 or 8 games the way he has his first 5 games, he'll be a first-round pick. No question.
2 former first-rounders, both reclamation projects. Sam Darnold with the Seahawks, Daniel Jones with the Colts. Who would surprise you more getting to a Super Bowl this year, the Colts or the Seahawks?
Oh, the Colts, no question. Seattle has been a football organization that has had some pieces. Obviously one very good receiver. They've got 2 very good tight ends. They've got a head coach that comes from a Super Bowl winning organization. Steichen does as well in Indy. They got a lot of really good defensive pieces. When Sam went number 3 in the draft years ago to the Jets, it was unequivocal to a man that there was talent there that justified the selection. When Daniel Jones went 6th to the Giants years ago, it was unequivocal across the board to a man that it was hard to find that physical talent that justified that selection. Both are great stories. Both are stories of resiliency that is becoming a mandate at that position once again in the NFL. But I think I'd be a little bit more surprised if India made it over Seattle, because also, you would have to bank on, okay, you got to go through Josh and you got to go through Patrick. And that would be a little bit surprising.
Listen, I know the only stat that matters in the NFL is wins and losses, and the Eagles are 4-1. But a lot of people, and even on our show, we've talked about Saquon Barkley's numbers being a little different this year than last year in Philadelphia. Why do you think the rushing yard number is down a little bit for Saquon?
Yeah, the result, wins and losses is the only result that matters. There's a lot of stats that we can look at and say what's going on. I think for Philly, one run game wise, Mekhi Becton, who's with the Chargers, moved human beings. So it's like we've lost that individual right guard. It's like that right guard with that Reckel, Lane Johnson, and Becton together were unbelievable. Or that right guard and center, Cam Jurgens, together were fantastic. So Becton not there. Landon Dickerson, their left guard, who's very good Alabama guy, has just been playing hurt and banged up, so he's not as dominant as he was. So that's they lead the NFL in negative runs. They have more negative runs in the NFL than anybody. The same that was going to break the rushing record last year. So that's the starting point. Is they're just not dominating like they did. I think the second thing is teams are playing them a little bit differently. They're playing more base defensively, so 3 linebackers, really, demanding that they don't get that run started, and then they don't run play action. So I think teams realize because they're in the shotgun every snap that there are some tells of, hey, if Saquon's next to Jalen Hurts, it's more than likely a pass. If Saquon's behind Jalen Hurts, it's more than likely a run. And so I think there's some tendencies and tells schematically in what they do as well.
I don't know if you guys saw Orlovsky's tweet this morning. Outside of the tush push through 5 games, do you know how many under center snaps Philadelphia has taken through 5 games?
No.
6.
6. Wow.
I mean, that's just crazy.
It's insane.
Dan. It is insane. I mean, they are in these shotgun exclusively now.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like Atlanta's in the gun and pistol more, so they're second most in the NFL. Philadelphia.
Yeah,
it's not an anti-shotgun thing. But when you are in the gun, you don't change the launch point of the quarterback much. Your run game is a little bit lateral rather than vertical, and so it's just. If you wanted to do it 70% of the time, I could probably understand that. But doing it as much as they do, 6 times in 5 games underneath the center, I just think you're hampering yourself from a schematic standpoint.
Yeah, I think that's, as a guy watching Alabama football, that's been what's excited me about Ty Simpson this year with Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb. How many times he's actually gone up under center and done play action passes. That's been exciting to watch. And when you watch that kind of offense in Tuscaloosa, does that help your evaluation of a Ty Simpson?
There's no question about it. You want a guy that is, the evaluations of these college quarterbacks is, what have you done? What do I believe you're capable of doing? What type of scheme do I believe that you're going to be able to thrive in? Do you have a skill sets and or traits that are going to be meaningful moving forward? I would argue with people that right now the quarterbacks that are playing at a high level in the league are mostly running similar schemes. And I do think the ability to play underneath the center from a both ball handling standpoint and a play action game standpoint only elevates the types of schemes that you can play in and the type of success that you can have. And so I agree. I think it's back in football. I've felt this way for about a year. I think the fact that imagine it from an offensive or an NFL's perspective. Simpson's obviously talented. He obviously has physical talent. And you want a guy that it's not necessarily like, are you pro ready? Do I think that you can be a really good player for a really long time? And I think to be a really good player for a really long time, you got to have a diversified skill set at that position. You kind of have to be able to do a bunch of different things. And I think that bodes well for Simpson.
Some people look, and they similar maybe throwing the football. I mean, right now Ty Simpson is a much better athlete. But if you go back to 2020, Mac Jones had one of the greatest college seasons we've ever seen. Never got credit for it. Devontae Smith, his own teammate, a wide receiver, won the Heisman Trophy. But watching Mac this past Thursday, one of the reasons Kyle Shanahan wanted him out of Alabama, he was absolutely fantastic. Do you think this continues? And do you think ultimately Mac Jones could be the starting quarterback over Brock Purdy?
I don't think we're at that point of Mac Jones starting over Brock Purdy. One, Brock's body of work is absolutely fantastic, and two, there's the financial reality. Two things could be true though: that Brock's the starting quarterback, deservedly so, rightfully so, and Mac is proving that he's a starting quarterback. When you're in that scheme, in that system, I think you're given the opportunity to play to your highest ability, and you're seeing that. Mac was always a guy that played fast in my eyes and had exceptional ball placement. And I think that's what you're seeing now in San Francisco. And so do I think that this continues if he's on the field? Yes. Do I think Mac Jones himself a lot of money? Absolutely. If I was a team that came from this tree and I am looking to add a starting quarterback to my football team, is Mac Jones going to be at the top of the list? There's no doubt.
Dan Orlovsky with us each week, courtesy of mybookie.ag. Code next round for that $500 bonus right now. You can see more at mybookie.ag. Use code next round when you go there. He's on the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys Hotline. Just having Jamar Chase, does that make Joe Flacco better than he was at Cleveland? Does this move the needle at all for you for Cincinnati?
Doesn't move the needle at all for me. Does it make you better? Of course, Jamar is sensational, but the reality is Joe is 40, I think, or 41 years old, who has really struggled as a quarterback over the last 2 or 3 years to play under pressure naturally, right? He's 40 years plus old. Cincinnati's offensive line is still bad. So will he have, because of Jamar, a little bit more success? Maybe. Do I think it moves the needle and makes them a winning football team? I do not.
Who wins the AFC South? I asked you about the Colts. I mean, is it the Colts, the Jags? I mean, Houston showed life. I know it was a Baltimore defense.
It's a gauntlet right now. Who do I think is, I still believe that Indianapolis is probably, Indy is playing so well offensively, 30 touchdown drives, only 10 drives that have become turnovers or punts. I think their defensive play calling is fantastic. Jacksonville, I've talked about, they just feel like a different football team, and they're very good. Houston, Houston has the best defense in the NFL that we don't talk about. It's the best defensive unit that we don't talk about, certainly. And so I liked what I saw to their offense the past 2 weeks. And so I could see all three of those teams very much so winning at the end. Indy right now you give the advantage to just because of how good the offense has been.
Okay, Dan asking for a friend, but Baltimore is hosting the Rams this weekend. And outside of that terrible Browns offense, Baltimore's given up 41 in a loss to the Bills. They've given up 38 in a loss to the Lions. They've given up 37 in a loss to the Chiefs. And then last week at home, they give up 44 to that Texans offense that was struggling. Now the Rams on long rest, coming off that Thursday night game roll in. First off, if you're Harbaugh, do you start Lamar Jackson or do you give him an extra week with the hamstring? And what do you think this Rams offense can do against the worst scoring defense right now in the NFL?
Yeah, I think for the Ravens, it's just get to the bye week. I don't run Lamar out there sitting at 1-4, and even if he's 90% with that hammy injury, I just get to the bye and get healthy. The Rams should win this game. The Rams must win this game. They're 3-2 and 2 of the losses because they're self-inflicted, sloppy, kind of situational football handling. If the Rams don't win this game, then me and others taking them as a serious Super Bowl contender, like, shame on us. And so they should have a ton of success. They should be able to do whatever they want in the play action game and completely own the middle of the field because the lack of pass rush from Baltimore is viable. So I think if you're Baltimore, hope that you can get to the bye week. If you somehow are 2-4, God bless you. You're more than likely going to be 1-5, but the Rams should handily win this game.
He saw right through the asking for a friend. Your Rams should handily win this game. Bills Falcons, is that where you are Monday night, Dan? Am I right?
Yes, sir. I think it's a dangerous game for Buffalo. I thought New England was a dangerous game for Buffalo going into last Sunday night. I think it's a dangerous game for Buffalo. Again, Atlanta's very talented on offense. They've got a very good run game. They'll play with 2 tight ends. Buffalo's defense is struggling in that regard. They're not healthy. It's another upset opportunity against Buffalo.
Okay. Should the Buccaneers only broadcast the last 2 minutes of their games?
How about this for Tampa? This is crazy in Tampa. They're 4-1, obviously. They've had 1 snap played by Mike Evans and Chris Godwin together. 4 different offensive line combinations. They have been trailing in every game at final minute and 4-1.
Yeah.
It's insane, really.
Yes, it's the most exciting
It really
2 minutes
is.
of television each Sunday.
This is the best we've seen of Baker Mayfield, no doubt. All right, so see Dan on that Buffalo-Atlanta game on Monday night, the first half of Monday Night Football. Dan, safe travels. Thank you for the time. Always good to see you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right, man. Take care. Dan Orlovsky joins us each week, courtesy of MyBookie.ag. Code next round. A game I mentioned, Buffalo, a 4.5-point road favorite. And Atlanta, he says, tricky, dangerous game for the Bills. I'd hate to see them lose 2 straight personally. But you can see Dan on that game, and you can play that game at MyBookie.ag. Code next round. MyBookie.ag. Code next round. I need the Bills to win that one in the South race. I'm counting on that being an L for the Falcons.
Oh, I need your Bucs to beat the 49ers.
Oh, look at you two.
Yeah, we'll take care of you. We've got you this week.
Look at you two.
We're getting healthier. We easily could be 0-5 right now. Tampa Bay could be 0-5.
But you also have to be encouraged by the fact that Godwin and Evans have had one snap together, and you're still 5-1.
We just now got Tristan Wirfs back at left tackle.
I mean, the best is ahead for you guys.
Up. Yeah, I told somebody yesterday. I was visiting him in the hospital. My buddy Mike, thoughts and prayers, Mike, and I was talking to him about the Bucs, and I was like, man, if we're just healthy going into the playoffs, I think this can be a really good team. I just don't know. How healthy we can ever be. It just doesn't seem like we're healthy ever anymore. Fun weekend in the NFL coming up. More NFL conversation here before we get to our break. The show being brought to you by a couple of our great sponsors. One of them is our friends at Hemphill. Tell us about Hemphill.
If you have any plumbing, heating, cooling issues in your home or business, Adam, Chad, Andrew, they are awaiting your call. Tell them the next round sent you, 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, you can always go online, hemphillservices.com.
All right, you can go see the race at Talladega coming up next weekend. The 17th, 18th, and 19th is the Yellowwood 500 weekend at Talladega Superspeedway. Listen, I don't just say this for my health. I am trying to help you out. If you have never been to a race at Talladega, if you have lived here any amount of time and have never been to a race at Talladega, you are cheating yourself. It is an incredible show, whether you like NASCAR or not. You cannot beat the spectacle that is a race at Talladega. So go see it for yourself. You can reserve your spot in the grandstand by calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. You can also reserve your spot in the camping area, the infield, the Whiskey Myers concert on Saturday night, or the Garage Experience presented by Cool Ray. All at the same spot, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Champy's Chicken, champy'schicken.com, bringing you the final hour of the show as we get ready for week 7 of the college football season. It goes way too fast, just like a good lunch does when you swing by Champy's, but it's worth the trip. If you're driving by on I-65 south or north, get off of that Alabaster exit. It's right off the exit. Just throw it into Waze or your Google Maps. It's about a mile right off of the interstate exit there. Worth it. Good Southern food, brined overnight, cooked to order. If you're just looking to take some Yankees to a good Southern meal, go get that great Southern fried chicken, the hand-cut chicken fingers, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, and so much more with Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken. And our friends at New York Butcher Shop, when you're ready to grill at home, LT, they'll take care of you.
Pick up some of those steaks, chicken, ribs, pork on your way home. Some of the pre-prepared meals. I got the spicy chicken Alfredo the other night. Absolutely fantastic food all the time from the New York Butcher Shop. Great butchers, both locations. Cahaba Heights, the original, Highway 119 in Greystone. Fantastic selection of fine wines and desserts. Get in and see Jim, our friend who was wearing our Next Round gear.
That's
Sent us
right.
a picture the other day, which we always appreciate. Rare quality, well-done service. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
Yeah, he was. He had to add it on. He was standing inside the circle on the great Grand Ole Opry stage as he was performing there. So
that's right. He was singing "Will the Circle Be Unbroken," Jim, and he was talking about the Next Round circle.
So he was right there last night. It was a wonderful picture to see that. One more thought on the NFL before we get back to the college game. Lamar Jackson questionable. You asked that question. The Ravens' defense have been pretty bad. Rams and Ravens, one of the big games this weekend. Another big game this weekend involves, I guess you've got to put San Francisco and Tampa Bay in there. Another Mac Jones week, or is it Brock Purdy time?
It is Mac Jones again.
Yeah, so he's been good so far. Flacco is the starter for Cincinnati. I was shocked, though, to see 14 and a half in a point spread in an NFL game. And that's what Green Bay is. That's mind-boggling.
It is, but it just didn't change anything for me for Cincinnati. I know he's now thrown to Jamar Chase, but as Dan said, he's still a 41-year-old guy that has shown he does not have his fastball anymore, Lance.
No, not at all. And I do think it's going to be an upgrade. I mean, say what you want, but Jake Browning was a turnover machine. But, another problem for Cincinnati is just the points they give up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, defensively, they haven't been great, and you got a hurt quarterback. I mean, that's a bad combo.
Yeah, I mean, 2 of the last 3 weeks have given up 37, the last 3 weeks, 37, 28, and 48.
Some of that's because of the turnovers. The turnovers have complicated that, obviously, yeah.
Speaking of points, Sunday Night Football, Lions and Chiefs, over under 51.5 this morning when I looked at it.
That'll be a fun game.
Yeah, anytime you get it in the 50s, NFL totals, that's a big total.
But that seems so low to me. Seems like that's an easy over, doesn't it?
I mean,
It's just telling you how big a total it is in the NFL.
I mean,
Dunaway's next statement. God, it seems low to me.
28-24, it's over.
Yeah. Does that game not scream 30-something to 30-something?
It does feel that way.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a big moment for Kansas City, too, because I think a lot of people, not a lot, everybody would have Detroit in their top 5. Most would have them in their top 3. If you're just doing a consensus, I think the most that you would see a team voted number 1 right now, power rankings, would be Detroit. So I think it's one of these games at Kansas City, tough loss Monday night, got to bounce back on Sunday.
And how quickly did we give up on Detroit week 1 in Green Bay?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they looked awful week 1 in Green Bay, and they have been just a different team since then.
I'm sure I sat here on Monday saying, it's a long season.
Don't give up on Detroit.
Don't fire Dan Campbell yet. By the way, baseball last night, Aaron Boone's Yankees lose. They're eliminated. Vlad Guerrero Jr. becomes the first person in the first 4 games of a postseason to have 9 hits and 9 RBIs. Big one again last night for him. And
he hit 529 in that series with 4 bombs. I mean, he was great.
So the Jays move on. Yankees are out. And Brown was talking about this before the show. 3rd longest drought in Yankee history. They've gone now 16 years without a championship.
They were talking about it at the end last night, and they showed the 4 big droughts in Yankees history. And in showing that, they were talking about
currently.
Well, they were talking about currently, but they were talking about the fact that I think I got these numbers right. 33% a third of the AL pennants.
I forgot I refilled the water.
Got a little drinking problem. A third of the AL pennants all time have been won by the New York Yankees. And a quarter of the World Series of all times have been won by the New York Yankees. I mean, those are insane numbers.
But yet they've gone 16 years without one.
16 years without a World Series.
Yeah, I thought it was a big moment in the 7th, Jazz Chisholm. The
mistake.
Should have been a 4-6-3 double play. They get out of that. They're down 2-1. They give up 2 more runs, 4-1 at that point.
Leave the bases loaded in the 8th as well. Smoltz, I thought he made a great point. He's like, everybody just assumes the Yankees are going to get back. He goes, listen, I can speak from personal experience how frustrating it is to get in the playoffs and never win the World Series. And he's like, you're never guaranteed another trip to the postseason after this. And there's a moment of honesty by Smoltz that a lot of people in our listening audience live through as Braves fans, and the Yankees are kind of doing it right now.
This stuff can flip fast. I booked, the Dodgers winning that game in the fashion they did in Philadelphia, going up 2-0 in a best-of-5. That thing was over, but Kyle Schwarber.
You said it was over, yeah.
2 bombs last night. Did you guys realize that he is number 3 all-time postseason home runs, and he has the most home runs ever in the postseason for a lefty?
You used to say he's like a slow-pitch softball hitter.
Oh, my God.
So he's got the second most postseason home runs of all time?
Well, he's got the 3rd most of all time. He's got the most for a lefty, which is hard to believe. But he's got 23.
Who's the most all time?
I would have said Mickey Mantle.
Yeah.
0 of 22 before he hit that home run last night. Detroit won their first home game in over a month to stay alive and force a Game 5 Friday night in Seattle against the Mariners. Possible elimination games today. You would think it'd be day game at Wrigley, night game in L.A., just the opposite. 5 o'clock, Phillies Dodgers, because they expect that to be the most watched baseball game and want to limit it up against the NFL. And then nighttime, Brewers and Cubs, 8 o'clock on TBS.
How sad is it you're in your postseason and you have to adjust your schedule because of a regular season NFL game on streaming? Yeah. I mean, that shows you the behemoth the NFL is.
Dodgers day game out there in L.A., late afternoon for us, early evening, and Cubs night game there in Chicago as they do elimination. Milwaukee and Dodgers win, and they're off to the championship series. That's a little baseball that gets us to trash. Brought to you today in part by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
205-969-8100. Way back in 1995, Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform the laser procedure in the state of Alabama. I got the procedure done in 2003. Still have the 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy Toa. The next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation, 0 to lose, to find out if LASIK is right for you. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
There's no doubt you need length and girth up front. Length matters.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy, and we start first with an update. It took a while, but my man that I took to win the pool of the New Orleans Escapees. Derek Groves is now in custody.
One of the longest bet payoffs we've had on this show.
Now, the final inmate wanted after the escape from New Orleans in May, reportedly arrested after a tense SWAT standoff in Atlanta. U.S. Marshal Service said it was involved in a SWAT standoff Wednesday along Honeysuckle Lane in southwest Atlanta. Witnesses told Fox 5 that the standoff began early Wednesday with officers calling for Derek Groves. Come out of the home. Deputy Chief Kelly Collier with the Atlanta Police Department said that Groves taken into custody without serious injury after officers deployed gas and a police dog. It's a rough combo, by the way.
Yeah, boy, I'm going to get you one way or the other with that one.
Now, they said, quote, ever since the escape, U.S. Marshals in New Orleans, along with several other departments, started a task force just for this case and have spent thousands of hours working on leads. We can't say exactly what brought us here, but it was a very thorough investigation, end quote. Now, a neighbor who witnessed the standoff said the scene was unlike anything she had seen in her 35 years of living in the quiet neighborhood. Quote, I heard it, all this noise from the police telling everyone to stay back, according to Deborah Lackey. Then I saw the police cars and a SWAT team, and you saw the big truck, SWAT truck, driving up on the grounds, and then the next thing you know, you hear them knocking on the garage door, then throwing things, and boom, boom, boom. And, yeah, they pull him out. They get him.
That's a heck of a photo.
Pretty impressive. He was able to stay on the lam since May.
I would agree. I would have been further away from New Orleans than Atlanta. I would certainly not have been in a large metropolitan. I don't know. Maybe you can blend in better in a large metropolitan.
I think with Atlanta you can blend in.
Yeah.
Because it's also so spread out.
That's true.
They're so dense.
But the next to last guy, the guy that made it the furthest other than this one, they got him like 10 minutes from the jail.
Yeah.
And he was doing Instagram lives.
That was my guy.
Yeah, that was Tyler.
I remember Richard Kimball went home to Chicago.
Oh, he did. He
I
came back
do
home.
think in today it is really, really impossible, almost impossible for these guys on the run. I think back in the 70s, 80s, if you had some resources, I think you
might
probably
do it.
So Dave in the chat says something that I was thinking of when I originally pulled this story. The officer said, we can't say what led us here. And Dave says, I'm going to say a combination of cell phone data and facial recognition got him. Yeah. It definitely sounds like some sort of surveillance technology that they really shouldn't be using.
We're not real sure how this blends in with what they like to call the U.S. Constitution, but it called us a criminal.
Yeah, what was the movie back in the day? Will Smith and Gene Hackman, Enemy of the State?
Yeah.
Where basically they had everything on everybody. And that is what's kind of amazing. This guy made it since May. Next, Canadian airline WestJet has introduced updated cabin interiors on select Boeing aircrafts, adding 3 distinct seat classes and charging extra for seats that can recline.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the changes were announced by the airline September 23rd, and, quote, the first aircraft with a new reconfiguration is expected to enter service later this month. According to a spokesperson for the airline, by early next year, 42 additional refreshed Boeing 737 MAX and 737-800s will be available for passenger travel. Now, the modern cabin experience will offer a bright, airy atmosphere with an upgraded design that features new seats, adjustable headrest, an enhanced cushion, and back support with a fixed recline design, an economy that helps preserve personal space. Seat classes include premium, extended comfort, and economy. Those wanting their seats to recline will need to book premium, and only 12 exist per plane. Do you guys ever recline?
No, it's going to have to recline more than it normally does. I just don't. I don't feel like it goes far enough back.
I will recline if nobody's behind me. Is the only way I'll do it.
That's pretty rare this day and age.
Yeah, I don't like reclining, and I don't like the people who recline in front of me. But I don't want to fall asleep because I will snore, and I don't like people that snore on a plane. So I fight hard to stay awake, and staying awake involves sitting straight up.
Ugh. I like sleeping on a plane. It makes that flight go faster.
Man, it's really, really difficult to sleep on a plane for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes I fall asleep not always sitting up, and I catch myself doing the,
Yeah, well, I do that a lot.
Yeah,
at least I'm doing that and not snoring.
Do you look around to see if people are watching you and laughing at you when you do that?
Yeah.
You immediately look.
Especially if I'm drooling.
I remember one of the first times Brown and I, we were flying together. We were going out to California, but you had we looked like two totally separate travelers. You had your neck roll.
I bought me a neck roll so I could sleep on it.
I had like 2 beers running through the terminal.
I was doing my best to get to sleep.
Hey, it is amazing how relaxed you are on a flight.
Who, me?
Yeah, I wish I could
like
be that
flying.
relaxed.
Yeah, I enjoy flying.
Do you guys actually like those neck pillows?
I didn't. I got rid of it. I bought it at the airport because I was sleepy, and I thought I could use it just as a pillow against the wall. That's really why I was.
But it's got to be a better option than not having one, right?
I've
never had one.
So I've never used it in its like designed role where you put it around your neck so you can sleep like that. That hurts my neck.
I see people all the time with it though.
I like it. I take it home and pretend I'm a linebacker in the 1970s.
Jack Ham.
Florida man, this is a painful sounding story, by the way, who was no stranger to the law, wound up back in jail and subject of one of Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd's most unusual morning briefings due to how he tried to smuggle a thermos into the jail.
Yeah, this is listener submitted from our friend Brian in Tampa, Fox 13 with this story. He sent this to us.
Is this a real X-ray, Tyler?
Yes, it is. I pulled it last night, and
that's impossible.
I had to sit my phone down because I just went,
Do you remember Mike from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
Look, there
a
he
little bit
is.
of him, yeah. From the eyes down, definitely.
Yeah, is the end game? I haven't seen the end of the story. Is this to smuggle? No, I assume it's not coffee or Campbell's soup. Is it drugs that are in the thermos?
Judd said the ordeal began with a complaint about a naked man at a park. Quote, we got a call that he was naked inside of a restroom at a public park. So we asked, is he naked or butt naked?
Yeah,
you can be naked,
distinction.
still have your socks on, but if you're butt naked, you're totally naked, according to Judd. Now, when an officer arrived, he said that this guy right here, Walter Freimeyer, 51 years old, had all of his clothes on, so the deputy escorted him out of the park. Now, the deputy explained to Freimeyer that he wasn't going to be arrested even though people saw him without any clothes on because he was giving him a break. Judge said Freimeyer then crossed the street, hopped up on the railroad train track, trespassed again, so the deputy did arrest him. Freimeyer had 25 prior arrests and had been to state prison 5 different times. Sheriff explained that all arrestees are put through a body scanner to make sure they aren't trying to bring in guns and knives or drugs into jail. That's when they noticed the thermos, which kind of hard to avoid that.
Yeah, you're going to notice that.
Mugshot, do you think he's still packing the thermos, or do you think that's after they removed it?
Extraction? Yeah.
Well, they said that they likely saved his life by getting this thermos out.
I would imagine, you probably get impacted. I don't think you're going to pass that thing. That had to be the plan, right?
I don't know, man. I have talked to people that work in the ER that, they've seen shampoo bottles and all kinds of crazy things. I don't understand it, but,
sure.
So
each their own.
Did you just? I mean, do they sing "Frey" when they're pulling that thing out? Saved your life tonight, or is that a song moment to cover up the screaming? I assume that if it went up there, it can come out.
Oh, it can. I don't think it pleasantly can. We know what position he'll be playing in the pen.
I think
he's going to be signaling. He's going to be signaling the pitches. I can tell you that.
So, do you guys?
I do know what he sounds like after eating Mexican food, though.
What is that? I don't get it.
I got it.
Oh, okay.
That was good.
Yeah.
So, are you guys familiar with Fandy?
With who?
Fandy, new app.
Nope.
It's a
new
streamer.
platform. Okay. And what is possibly the weirdest crossover between gaming, streaming, and the real world? Twitch streamer Fandy has taken sharing with everything to chat to the absolute next level. She is actually live streaming the birth process of her child.
I mean,
at this point, if it doesn't come out as a thermos, I don't care.
It might be easier to pass the child. I saw this in high school. We watched not live, but watched a childbirth in high school.
Yep, me too.
So I just assume people have seen this before. I
don't think anybody's done that while asking people to like and subscribe.
Well, that's true, Tyler. That was different than the one we watched in Miss Wilson's, AP biology class. I agree.
And literally, it was like you turned the lights on at Space Mountain. At that point, the ride just not as exciting as it was before they turned the lights on. So I was like, what are we looking at here?
Hey, so you want me to tell you what happened when we watched it? This was just old VCR, right? And Robin Wilson was my 11th grade biology teacher. Phenomenal teacher. Loved her. Everybody loved Miss Wilson. She was great. And she was going to pause it to tell us something right before the childbirth happened, and she accidentally hit fast forward. So the child goes...
a little missile.
Yeah, a little missile. And then she realizes what she does. So she hits rewind, and the child goes... I will never unsee that. Like, when you see that in Fast Forward and Rewind, it is a different experience.
So they said the scene was frantic, sweet, funny all at the same time. As contractions got a little bit more, Fandy herself could be overheard moaning, joking, cheering on her chat. Hola, guys, quote, arrives pronto, baby, she declared in the middle of the stream. I've waited forever for her. Get the hell out already. Now, the audience watched as her partner and pals guided her through breaths, cheering her on with a blast of encouragement. And gallows humor, quote, you're doing great. Don't hold it. Let it go. One cheer encouraged.
Boy, I tell you what, girl on the far end of the couch, she's there in support, but she's like, this is super, super awkward.
Yeah.
Look at her covering it. She ain't going to look, is she?
Yeah.
Like, I'm supporting
Might have thought it was a good
I just
idea.
don't want to be a bad friend.
Yeah.
Now, this is weird. Twitch's very own CEO stopped by the chat to wish Fandy well midst birth. CEO's cameo gave the moment an official stamp of Twitch history, making this not only the just viral content, but platform lore. Social media went into a wild, frenetic situation where some fans praised Fandy for being unapologetic and fearless in broadcasting, unfiltered glory. Others debated back and forth on live streaming the act of childbirth, even jokingly calling it, quote, the ultimate just chatting stream.
Yeah.
The Twitch CEO ended up hopping in the live chat, too.
Oh, did he now?
Yes.
Now, the links people will go to for subscribers is pretty crazy.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, we'll do a lot, but I am not giving birth on any of our channels, Tyler, before you even ask.
Well, dang it. That was my
gonna
plan
do it.
for next summer.
Not going to do it.
The goof dick kept helping his partner there. That is one of the more uncomfortable, those whatever that is. It's almost like
sitting on the exercise ball. Yeah. I mean, it's like, is anybody comfortable in this entire photo? I know the woman giving birth is not. Yeah.
That's to build up your ab muscles.
Well, girl next to the on the ottoman.
That's what I'm saying. She's the one that can't look.
Yeah, she is like actively turning her face away.
She's like, I cannot.
I love they went full
hit
Hitman though with the plastic, putting it down on the.
Yeah, that's right. We are not going to have a method
Dexter
here.
thing going on.
Yeah, that's our Trash Today, brought to you by, in part, our friends at Gutter Cap. Your chance right now before the leaves really start falling.
Yeah, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's a dirty, dangerous job. The leaves are falling out there. You want to keep the gutters clean and free-flowing. The answer is Gutter Cap. Call Chris Stewart. He will come out, give you an absolutely free estimate. 205-823-2212. You get on the roof, you slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. No good to the wife or kids. Cap it, don't snap it. 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
All right, so our conversations today with Josh Pate and Dan Orlovsky available for you on Apple and Spotify, wherever you get our podcasts. Also on YouTube, to like and subscribe at Next Round Live, We've got a live My Bookie show coming up right at the top of the hour here for a few minutes. We'll talk about the best picks coming up for the weekend. Our final thoughts, though, today involve some more college football. That includes the coaches that were hired in 2022. Brett McMurphy saying the coaches that were hired there, only Billy Napier and Lincoln Riley, have either not been to the playoff or not ranked right now in the top 25. So either since that 2022 class of coaches, they've either been to the playoffs or are currently ranked in the top 25, except for Billy Napier and Lincoln Riley.
I still think you can make an argument of that 2022 class that Brian Kelly has been the most disappointing.
He's at LSU. He's one of the guys that is ranked right now, but hasn't been to the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm just saying based on expectations.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. He took over a good program. Yeah.
I didn't know how it was. And look, and I thought the Lincoln Riley thing would be a slam dunk, but I think there's more expectation, sadly, at LSU now than there is USC. Billy Napier, I didn't know what direction that thing would go. I had no idea. But Brian Kelly to LSU seemed like an absolute slam dunk.
So you're more disappointed in Kelly at LSU than Riley at USC?
No, I'm not necessarily saying that. I think the public perception probably is. I mean, I thought USC would get to a playoff, and I still think they can with Lincoln Riley. I didn't think there was any way that Brian Kelly wouldn't win a national championship at LSU, and he still might do that too. I'm just talking about to where they are right now. It is pretty amazing they haven't gotten to a college football playoff.
Of that 2022 class, Dan Lanning, Marcus Freeman, Rhett Lashley already to a playoff. Mario Cristobal, Tony Elliott, Brent Key, Joey McGuire, Brent Venables, all ranked right now.
Hey, boy, that was pretty good hiring by those athletic directors. I mean, as many as schools get wrong, that's all in all pretty good hiring. I mean, percentage-wise, you normally do worse than that, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the crazy thing is, like, all of those guys could go a really, really positive way, but at the same time, you could have made an argument that Napier, Elliott, some of these guys would have already been fired.
Who can you read those names again? Who, just as he reads them, who's done the best job of this group?
Okay, the whole 10 guys are Lincoln Riley, Billy Napier, Mario Cristobal, Tony Elliott, Marcus Freeman, Brian Kelly, Brent Key, Dan Lanning, Rhett Lashley, Joey McGuire, Brent Venables.
To me, it is not even close. Marcus Freeman and Dan Lanning.
I don't disagree with you, but I mean, for Joey McGuire and Brent Key to have their programs where they are, that's pretty good coaching right there.
But going into this year, Joey McGuire was a 7-6, 8-5 guy, and he has a ton of resources. And if they fall back and they lose a couple of these games,
the shine will be off. There's no doubt.
Rhett Lashley took his team to the playoffs.
Yeah, you didn't see that coming out of SMU, especially first year in the ACC.
And that was back-to-back 11-win season, so he's done a great job too. Again, I think they've a little underachieved this year.
I don't disagree. But I'm going to give him a break. I mean, sure. He's been off to a good start.
Ryan Day, with their win last week, I get this off my sheet. I've had it since Saturday night. 75-10 now. He is the highest winning percentage in the history of college football now, passing Newt Rockne. His winning percentage is .882. Newt Rockne .881. Now, he's coached 85 games. Newt, at that point, was 122 games. Just to put it in terms that you guys can relate to that were watching and listening to us, Ryan Day, .882 winning percentage. Nick Saban in his time at Alabama was .877. So Ryan Day winning at a better rate than Nick Saban did at Alabama.
So much harder to do it now than when Newt Rockne was the coach. I mean, this is an incredibly impressive, obviously, stat. I mean,
it's incredible. The two things, unfortunately, that jump out for Ryan Day are you only have the one national championship and your rival has owned you.
Yeah, I mean, of those 10 wins, Michigan has, got a third of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that is something, you're right, that jumps out.
Yeah, and I don't think we give Ryan Day enough credit. I really don't.
Yeah. Speaking of rivals, Michigan playing USC at the Coliseum this weekend. Today is their travel day. They're on their way to Los Angeles. They're attacking their West Coast swing differently than some schools. They're flying on a Thursday. They'll practice tomorrow at the Bolt, which is the Chargers practice facility, and then play Saturday at the Coliseum. So an extra day of travel day for Michigan as they go from the Midwest to the West to tackle the other side of that Big Ten conference schedule at USC. That's our show today, but don't go anywhere. Just a little top of the hour blip here, and then we're right back with the My Bookie Pick Show. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
It's our weekly MyBookie Football Picks show. He's Jim Dunaway, he's Lance Taylor, I'm Ryan Brown. We're the Next Round guys. Thank you for joining us. We're going to burn through these games in college and the NFL and give you a few picks for your weekend. You can play all the games at mybookie.ag, code Next Round. mybookie.ag, code Next Round for that $500 bet back bonus. You can check all of that out at mybookie.ag, code Next Round when you sign up to get that bet back bonus. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. Alabama's on the road at Missouri in the early window college football. Crimson Tide coming off their win over Vandy, a 3-point favorite. Missouri undefeated, catching 3 at home, but you could also say undefeated and untested.
All right, untested, no doubt. And as you said, this will be their 6th consecutive home game. Both these teams are covering right now. You look at not only Missouri, 26-5, their last 31 under Eli Drinkwitz. They're 8-2, their last 10 out against the number. Kalen DeBoer, 4-1, his last 5 out against the number. The last time Alabama lost outright to Missouri back in 1975. Can Alabama stop the run, Dunaway? I think that is going to dictate a lot, side and total, of this 11 o'clock matchup.
I agree with that, but offensively, I feel like Alabama's hit a good stride. Starting at Georgia, The offensive line has played better. They've sort of settled on a rotation. They played 4 different matchups of left guard, left tackle, right tackle throughout the course of the season. They've settled in there, played a really good game against Georgia, played a good game against Vandy. This Missouri front seven probably better at pressuring the quarterback than those two teams. Can they protect Ty Simpson? If so, I like Alabama in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from it, Brown. I would take Missouri plus the 3 right now. They've won 15 straight at home. They are such a frustrating team because they lead the SEC running the football 55% of the time, and Prebula has been really, really good on third downs. They are converting 62% of their third downs, which is the best in the FBS.
Yeah, but are they ever doing that throwing the football?
No, they don't have to because they got third and ones.
So it's not really Prebula. He's running it sometimes. Can you get him in third and long and force him to throw the football? I don't think he's a great passer. If he was, he'd still be at Penn State.
He's completing 76% of his passes right now. He's second in the FBS.
Short passes or inferior competition.
Red River Shootout in Dallas State Fair. It is Texas, a slim 1-point favorite. Mateer or no Mateer, Dunaway? That's the question.
It is. He's questionable as we film this, tape this, record this for the game. Regardless, there's a lot of things not going right for Texas on the other side of the ball. They're struggling to run the ball, 52 yards rushing at Florida. Oklahoma's a good defense just like Florida is. The O-line can't protect Arch Manning. That's going nowhere right now. Ryan Wingo still plays football right at Texas. I never hear his name mentioned because they're not completing passes to him. He may be one of the best receivers in college football. They never throw the ball to him because they're not throwing the ball much to anybody. I have more questions on the other side for Texas than I have about whether or not Hawkins or Mateer can get this Oklahoma team to victory.
Well, you got the number 5 scoring defense in Texas, 12 points per game, going against the number 3 scoring defense. 7.2 points per game Oklahoma's giving up. You go back to this matchup last year, Texas wins it going away 34-13. Ironically, Michael Hawkins started for Oklahoma last year, was sacked 6 times. Everything says Oklahoma. When you look at Texas, how bad they are on third downs, 114th right now in the FBS in third down conversions. And on the other side, the best third down defense in college football is Oklahoma. When Brent Venables allows 20 or less, he is unbelievable. His record at Oklahoma, what do you think it is in 21 games?
21 games where they've allowed 20 or less? I'm going to say 20-1.
That's a good guess.
21-0.
Okay, he's never lost one.
And it's just hard to see this Texas team scoring over 20 points. With all that said, something tells me Texas will find a way to win it. I'm going to say with defense, I would lay the 1.5.
That's my pick here, though, Dunaway, is the under 43.5. I think this game will play under a very small college football total of 43.5.
Yeah, sometimes, though, defensive good plays, miscues from the offense can set up cheap points when you play unders.
Let's go to the Pacific Northwest. Oregon, a 7.5-point favorite as they take on the Indiana Hoosiers. Total of 55 in this game. Massive Big Ten championship game implications. Obviously, you know that about Oregon, but if Indiana can get past this one, they've got a great road to Indianapolis for the championship.
Yeah, and I know people would talk about, who has Indiana really played. Now the Oregon win in Happy Valley doesn't look as special as it once did.
I agree.
After Penn State losing on the road to UCLA as a massive favorite. This is interesting because Kirk Cignetti finally got that top 25 win, but now he goes on the road. Can he slay one of these Giants? I think it's going to be difficult with Oregon minus the 7.5. There's just something about Oregon at home in Autzen. Dan Lanning 5-4 against top 10 teams. I like this Indiana team. These are two of the most balanced teams in all of football. And I think Mendoza and Moore, you can make an argument, the best 2 quarterbacks in college football. I just think a little too much. I'm probably going to stay on the sidelines because I want Indiana to win this game, but I think Oregon's the right way minus the 7.5.
I feel comfortable saying the winner of this game is in the playoffs. I feel comfortable with that, with the remaining part of the schedule and them having the Big Ten patch. Winner of this game is going to be a playoff team.
Because at 6-0, if they go 4-2 down the stretch, you're going to get it.
And look at both of their schedules; they're doable schedules. So they're really likely scenario. Even the loser of this game is going to be in the playoffs. Evenly matched, 7th and 8th in yards per play, 5th and 7th on defensive yards given up per play. Indiana ahead in both of those categories. Really good matchup. I like Oregon just because I never buy Indiana.
And 2 good covered teams right now.
Yeah.
Signetti 12-5 against the number of his last 17 out, and Dan Lanning 4-1 against the number of his last 5 out.
It's hard to buy into Indiana. Signetti's been trying to get us to do it. I'm kind of with Dunaway. I'm going name brand here. Oregon plus minus 7.5. Arkansas is at Tennessee. First game for Bobby Petrino, Jim, as the interim head coach at Arkansas. They're catching 12.5 points. Total of, you ready for this? 69 in this game.
Yeah.
There's going to be some points in this one, boys.
I would say this. Bobby Petrino's recruiting and portal class since he took over, how was that? Oh, wait, it's the same team he's taking over, and he fired all the defensive coaches for a reason. Their defense is bad. Tennessee, I think people are downplaying Tennessee because of the close game they won at Starkville and the close game they lost at Georgia. Still a Tennessee football team that's really good. I don't think we've seen totally the end of Aguilar's best football yet. I think he has a big game. I think Tennessee's receivers have a big game. I think Tennessee beats them by 20.
So the thing that concerns me is this has become kind of a fashionable upset pick with Arkansas and Bobby Petrino in his first game out. I think Taylor Green in this offense, I think they're going to be fine. I look at Tennessee, the number one scoring offense in college football, 51 points per game, going against the 110th scoring defense, giving up 30 points per game. I take a look at this total. I see it, it's
69.
Between 69, 68.5.
Yeah.
The last 9 Tennessee games have gone over the total. I am going to play the over here. I had the over in Arkansas, Notre Dame a couple of weeks ago. It goes over without Arkansas doing anything offensively, and I think Arkansas will score points against this Tennessee defense. I don't think Aguilar is all that, but this is a hypo offense that puts up a lot of points, so I would play the over 69 right now.
I was thinking the same thing. I like the under on that low number earlier. I kind of like the over on the big number. I guess it's counterintuitive. I don't know, but it's kind of the way I'm leaning on that. Couple night games. Reminder, mybookie.ag. Code next round for that $500 bet back bonus. Code next round at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. Florida's at Texas A&M. A&M a 7.5-point favorite. Florida coming off the win over Texas. Can they replicate offensively what they did against Texas against maybe a little easier defense even in Texas A&M?
Ooh.
No, I think Texas defense better than A&M. The difference here is obviously you're having to do it on the road rather than at home. Yeah. That's a big difference.
I think just sheer pass rushing. I think Texas A&M maybe gets out of after the quarterback maybe a little bit better than Texas does right now. Cassius Howell 3 sacks against Mississippi State. They got a couple other guys that had Jackson Arnold on the ground all day long. 1 in 23 on third down defense in the last 2 games, SEC games. I think that continues a little bit this week. I think we get bad DJ Lagway again. He got banged up a little bit in the win over Texas. I like A&M in this one.
So Florida's been, as much as they struggled, the ups and downs, 11-4 against the number of their last 15 out. A&M has really struggled under Elko, 2-8 against spread their last 10 out. Can you look into your crystal ball and tell me, is Dallas Wilson going to be the factor that he was last week, and will DJ Lagway continue to play with confidence and not turn the football over?
No and no.
The trends tell me no.
Yeah, I was going to say, if the answer is yes, I'd take him plus 7.5. I kind of lean A&M. I'm still not convinced A&M is a top 5 team, but they continue to win. I don't like this game. I probably completely stay away from it.
It's my favorite game of the weekend.
Oh, A&M.
Taking A&M and give the points, mainly because Forster in our upset alert picks has hit 4 outright winners, and he's covered on all 6 of them.
He's due.
You can't go 7-0, so I'm going against Forster here. Yeah.
Let's go one more SEC game before we go to the NFL. The Georgia Bulldogs are on the road at Auburn. Georgia a 3.5-point road favorite, total of 46.5. And a night game at Jordan-Hare, which is one of the most difficult in big games. Night game Jordan-Hare, one of the toughest places in America to play.
Well, I mean, Auburn doesn't give up anything on the ground. They're only giving up 2.6 yards per carry. Georgia defensively not where they once were. But I start to look at this. Auburn's got the 25th scoring defense. Georgia's got the 32nd scoring defense. The points are going to be at a premium. The total's 46.5. I would say play the under here, but I feel really good that Auburn comes out after the bye and they play their best game of the season, and I'm not sure really where Georgia is, so I'm getting over 3. That's kind of the threshold for me. If this thing was 3 or under, I probably wouldn't feel great about it, but because I'm catching 3.5, I like the Auburn Tigers.
I'm going to tell you that I'm at the game, so I can't make a pick, but I do like Auburn's defense has been playing really good. They have held every one of their opponents so far to almost double digits below their season average.
Yeah.
That's an impressive number. Season average of the opponents in scoring, they've held them down almost double digits in that. And for Georgia, offensive line injuries. One offensive lineman's out. A couple are questionable. They got banged up in the Kentucky game. I like Auburn's front seven to dictate the pacing here. And that Jackson Arnold has a good game with his legs. And a game of RPOs where Stockton is good at it and Arnold is good at it. I like Jackson Arnold to be the better quarterback in this game. Auburn wins.
Well, if you want a trend or angle that I really don't know the numbers, I just know traditionally I haven't been good at this. When I back a team and they retire somebody's jersey at halftime, it's normally a bad thing. Auburn is retiring Cam Newton's jersey at halftime.
What a trend.
I do like Auburn here, so that could be bad news for the Tigers.
To the NFL, you can play all the games we're talking about at mybookie.ag. When you sign up, code NEXTROUND, get you that $500 bet back bonus. You can get that right now at mybookie.ag, code NEXTROUND. mybookie.ag, code NEXTROUND. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. Massive, as far as October games go, NFC game, 2 4-1s. San Francisco at Tampa. Tampa does nothing but trail late and win. They are a 3-point favorite at home, total of 47.5 down in Tampa in this one.
Getting healthier, but still banged up everywhere, both offensively and defensively. How many times can you jump across the subway without touching the third rail, right?
They've tried it every week.
San Francisco, great play calling. If it is Mac Jones again, can Mac Jones win another game in the NFL? The odds would tell you, the Magic 8 Ball would say no, that something's got to give for one of these teams. I'm going to say Tampa wins this one at home.
Man, it's a tough game. Mac going West Coast all the way, playing at least it's an afternoon game.
It's a late game, yeah, late window.
Mac, there's no way he can play like he played this past Thursday night. Kendrick Bourne cannot play like he played this past Thursday night.
But Baker Mayfield can. I mean, he's been consistent.
No, I think these are two of the 10 best teams in football. I think they're this good just because the Bucs are at home. I'm going to lean the Bucs, but you play all these tight games, sooner or later you get bitten.
100%.
And San Francisco, I don't know why they've been buried for dead all year. I know the injuries have really piled up, but they still find ways to win games, and their one loss was to the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's a pretty damn good team.
Speaking of teams jumping the rail and not touching, or jumping the subway, not touching the third rail, that was Kansas City all year last year, and they've hit the third rail often this year, Dunaway. But they are a 2-point favorite as they host Detroit in the Sunday night game. You like a total play on this one. 53 is the number.
Give me the over in this one. Detroit and Kansas City scoring some points and lighting it up on a Sunday night. I'm comfortable playing that all the way up to 53.5. It'd have to get to 54 before I stop wanting to play.
Probably will tick up a little bit. I will just say that I think Detroit right now, you make the argument, best team in football. I have a lot of concerns with Kansas City, but this is one of these desperation games with Pat Mahomes. He threw the pick six last Monday night against Jacksonville. That ended up being the difference. But I think the Chiefs play well. I don't know how they're going to do it, much like Texas against Oklahoma, but I like the Chiefs minus 2.5 Sunday night.
All right, one more game. Dan Orlovsky on our daily show, The Next Round, said Buffalo is in a tricky spot at Atlanta in the Monday night game. This game Dan will be on. Buffalo, a 4.5-point road favorite. Do you see this as a tricky spot for them?
I do. I think anywhere on the road in the NFL, when you've got a offense that can pop and you've got players like Drake London and Bijan Robinson, I think it becomes dangerous. Now, I would feel much better about the Falcons if the Bills would have beaten New England. Now,
and they were super sloppy in that game,
home
too.
loss, losing back-to-back is going to be difficult, but I would take the 4.5 here. I could see the Bills win this game by 3. I would take the home dog.
Yeah, Dunaway, it's hard to believe the Bills are going to be that sloppy in back-to-back games. That's just against their DNA.
I would agree. The best play on Monday night is Washington at home against the Bears.
-4.5.
Yeah, the money line. Take Washington, give those points.
Okay, minus 4.5. Huh?
Ben Johnson coming off a bye. His last 2 buys combined 1,000 yards and 88 points. So,
dang.
Yeah, so I'm just saying.
Chicago ought to be
now
hot.
that was Detroit teams.
That's right.
A little bit different, but this was a fantastic game. You guys will remember the Hail Mary last year where Washington kind of swung the momentum for that team en route to the NFC Championship game. I think it'll be a hell of a game. I think I would take points in both these games.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels. Enough said. Washington.
All right.
Over Chicago.
Jaden Daniels. All right, play all the games at mybookie.ag. Code next round for that $500 bet back bonus at mybookie.ag. When you sign up and use code next round, you get that great bonus there. You can play all the games, bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Mybookie.ag, code next round. Thank you for watching us. Please give us a thumbs up. Make sure you've subscribed to our YouTube channel and set your alerts so you know when we're live. And follow us on all social media at Next Round Live. And we're live every single day, 9 to noon Central, right here on the Next Round.